But yeah, exactly. Like, we can't just sit there and like pretend like we like everything we're seeing. I mean, you can do that if legitimately you like everything you're seeing, that's fine. But if you don't like what you're seeing, it's very important that you voice your concerns, because we definitely learned from Elden Ring that no matter how bad you think it looks, there's a way to fix it. And with Elden Ring, it definitely shows that they're willing to make drastic changes to PvP in particular. And so I would not be surprised if we actually go through the same type of phase for Armored Core 6. And honestly, just looking at this footage at first glance, I would probably give feedback to just plain and simple make the lock-on, make the hard lock-on impossible to hard lock in PvP, and just keep it like the 4th generation, where you have a lock-on that tracks your target, but it can be broken. Is probably what I would do, or introduce an item in the game, or like some sort of function that just breaks lock, that is like some sort of FCS jammer of some sort or whatever. But basically a possibility to break lock with movement. That's like from at first glance, this is what I would lean toward. But again, this is just at first glance. I honestly think we're gonna hear more details from, I think, some players who got invited to try the PvP. So I think for the showcase that we're seeing today, I think we're gonna get direct inputs from people that got flew there to do the PvP demo. I don't know if Oro is going to be doing it. I think Fighting Cowboy is going to be doing it, but I'm not sure. I don't know if Vati is going to be doing it either. I haven't talked to Vati in a while, so I've been talking with Vati about this game for some time, and he went silent not so long ago. So I'm assuming he's probably going to be in there, and he's probably under like NDA or whatever. So yeah, I think we're going to get direct input from some players, but again, guys, always take like this sort of input with a grain of salt, because, you know, like any smart person would, you know, these content creators want to get re-invited for the next event. So if they shit on the game, like, that does not really serve them very well. So don't expect like anyone from these content creators to shit on the game, like, really. Like, yeah, I'm the only one who would like do that, just because I don't care. Like, I like to keep things as, you know, as real as I can. And so I think that's also like the appeal for you guys to be watching here. Honestly, the discussion is always going to gravitate around the lock-on, the hard lock, and the turning speed, because those are pretty much like the major changes, like the most relevant changes that Armored Core 6 is going through right now. And the thing is that both of those things, having to actually aim your camera or aim with your stick at least a little bit, even in the 4th gen, and then a lot in the other generations prior, having to aim with your stick and then control the movement, and having the turn speed effect like flanking and all this stuff, these mechanics affected the game in massive ways, like affected the franchise, I should say. And these were like core mechanics. And so the fact that they removed those, I mean, it's to be expected that it's not necessarily going to be, they might not get it right with their new direction in their first try, right? But we're going to get more details, so that's why we're here. All right, let's be open-minded though. Let's see what they have to say. Dude, the quality is kind of shit, if I'm being honest, for the stream. That's not on you guys. That's definitely what we're looking at. Bitrate is like abyssal.
Wake the dog up.
Handler Walter verified. Activating cerebral coral control device.
Bandai's upload for these kind of crap. Dude, the bitrate is like... it's unprofessional how low the bitrate is.
augmented human, C4621, has awakened.
It's not just the Twitch bitrate, man. Like, we're watching this on YouTube, and like I'm watching this and the bitrate is just not good, dude. And YouTube has like no bitrate like limitation for the quality to be bad like that. Yeah, this is the first gameplay trailer that they shown. Guys, can someone in stream just confirm real quick? Just like find this stream on YouTube and look at it directly. See if the bitrate is also like shitty directly from the official source for you as well. Can you guys confirm as well on your end if like if say you watch this directly on YouTube? You see it? It's bad? It is? Okay, well, it's low. Here you go. Okay, just making sure it's not me, you know, just making sure, double checking, but
how far they can fly on borrowed wings.
Because like this bitrate is so low that it's a bit puzzling. And this is confusing. Oh man. Oregon, thank you so much. The resub for 11 months.
6 Fires of Rubicon showcase. Today we'll be sharing an in-depth look at the features of Armored Core 6, live gameplay from some very special guests, and our first ever live showcase of the game's exhilarating PvP mode.
Oh shit!
In
Oh,
the studio, we
look
have
at that.
Oroboro, Fightin' Cowboy, and the staff of Armored Core Legacy. We'll
There
be
you
joined
go.
remotely by Vati, and off stream we have Saintriot, who will be streaming during today's program.
Well, guys,
Before
we have
dive
some
in,
representatives.
Let's take a look at our schedule for today to see what's in store.
Hey guys,
To set
bets
the
are
stage,
on.
we'll begin
Who
with
do you think
discussion
wins?
around the story of Armored Core with Vati. Next, we'll
Who
undergo
wins?
some training with some experienced Armored Core pilots. And last up, we'll enter the combat zone with our first look at PvP before hearing everyone's final impressions. We hope you'll stay with us and enjoy the show.
You guys think Oro wins? Easy? Oro easy? Hey man, don't underestimate the folks at Armored Core Legacy. If it's from Chang, this guy knows what's up. I'm just saying.
Hello and welcome, Vati. We all know you are a FromSoft expert. How do you think Armored Core 6 appeals to From Software fans, old and new?
Yeah, first off, thank you for having me. I hope the event goes
Thank
well.
you.
I saw you have some PvP coming up, so I'm really excited for that. But in terms of how it appeals to old fans, I guess there hasn't really been a new Armored Core game for 10 years now. So I think old fans are in for big changes to the combat, and obviously the graphical fidelity of the game is much better. From Software have obviously learned a lot in the last 10 years. But I think old fans in particular will be drawn to the assembly aspect more than anything else, because even in this game, you can still fundamentally change your mech on such a core level, and they'll probably recognize a lot of the specs involved as well. And I think they'll sort of have a leg up on the competition in that regard. But I hope new fans give it a chance, even though it can be a little bit overwhelming. It's obviously very different from something like Elden Ring, but it still feels like a From Software game, you know? You know it's going to be challenging, but you know it's going to be a game that respects your time and effort and gives you the tools you need to succeed. So yeah, I think a lot of people will be keen to try this game just on the reputation of From Software alone. And I hope they do.
I love that answer. I mean, I'm really excited about it. All of that sounds very exciting for me. From both the new and returning fans of the series, the announcement trailer was certainly a surprise at the Game Awards. So let's take another look.
All right. By the way, guys, this is not the first time that Vati had a face cam stream, so I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, they did not dox them into showing himself. He was already out there, for those who were wondering. I mean, let's be honest though, From Software's CGI game is like on point. They have some of the best CGI trailers in the business though. You can't take it away from them. So much so that they should make, like, I don't know, 3D movies or 3D like mini-series. They're like so... Their CGI trailer are like so good, it's kind of insane. No, I say that obviously we've already seen all of these particular trailers, but yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get that new footage soon though. My vote for who wins, I'm voting for From Cheng. You guys vote for Oro? My money is on From Cheng. From AC Legacy.
Wow, From Software always does such an amazing job establishing the tone of each world they create. What do you think about this trailer? Did you notice anything that viewers didn't catch?
Well, I doubt I noticed anything that, you know, the internet at large didn't really notice. But a lot of stuff in that trailer definitely is more recognizable now, for sure. You can see a lot of bosses from the early parts of the game. I think there's the Juggernaut, Voltaeus, and also the big helicopter boss from Mission 1. But the most interesting thing, I think, in that trailer is the AC that's fighting during it. Oh, no, that's a different trailer, actually, I think. No, this is the trailer. There's an AC that's fighting in that trailer, and I think its name is Nightfall, and I think it might also be the main character of that trailer, and the main character on the box art as well. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but I'm pretty sure you can see that character in Mission 1 as well.
The questions they're asking him are shitty. Like,
and yes,
it's not his fault.
Notice all these little things.
That sounds really exciting because all of that insight, I'm sure people are going to go back and rewatch the trailer because of what you said right now, Vati. I love that. Just about a month ago, we revealed the story trailer and we noticed you commented, FromSoft is really going to make us cry about robots, aren't they? I like that.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone missed it, let's take another look.
They're basically going to show every single trailer. This is awkward. This is only awkward because they're really asking him like bad questions. Like Vati is actually like doing a good job at not making them look silly, if I'm being honest. Like Vati is just so gracious when he speaks that, you know, he's making these look like they actually mean something. Vati could destroy them in seconds. Real? Yeah, this trailer goes hard. It's a shame they couldn't have a Defty mask him. I mean, there's always that language barrier, unfortunately. I feel like that's going to be the team with From Software game until the end of times. Until we get like a major dev at FromSoft who actually speaks English.
Don't expect much more.
I'm not here to talk. Wake it up.
At the end of the showcase, Vati pilots the mech and crashes into the studio. They should get one of these UFC translators in there, man. You know? Like these goated translators who like just hype up fights. You should get one of those. And their music and it's just so good. You've seen these trailers like 21 times already. Yeah, I feel that same here. Also, we can't see it with this bitrate, but there was an Easter egg in this corner in one of the frames. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Mission complete. 621. I'll give you a reason to resist.
Yeah, I made a vid about it when they released it, indeed, yeah. For those who have not seen it.
Vati, you are very knowledgeable about this series. What are some final thoughts you have on Armored Core 6?
So I think I'm just really glad that Armored Core 6 encouraged me to play all of the older games, because it made me realize I'm just so into this. I'm so into this process of sort of fine-tuning your mech to be perfectly suited for the missions, and I love the bleak world, and there's just this really distinct vibe that Armored Core has that I really hope new fans can come in and discover, because I think a lot of the old fans have been talking about this stuff for a while, so it'll be exciting to see people sort of break into a new genre almost. So I hope Armored Core 6 does well, because even just because I want the genre to do well now, like I'd love to see more mech games that let you customize your mech on a deeper level, and From Software seem like they're sort of the kings of this genre from what I've seen, so I think Armored Core 6 could really give a boost to that whole scene.
I feel like the whole time you were talking, Vati, I totally agree, especially with your enthusiasm.
She might be
sucked
into
in a
him.
lot of my community, so we're big fans of your videos and keep doing what we do, because thank you so much, Vati, for joining us.
I don't blame her.
And sharing your insights about the world of Armored Core.
Sure, thank you so much. Thank you.
For our pilot onboarding, I am
Damn,
joined by an experienced Armored Core
Cowboy.
pilots,
It's about to
Oroboro
crush the
and Fighting
competition.
Cowboy. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's an
Oh
honor.
man, it's an honor for me.
Look
to
at
be with you
Oro
guys.
here.
Well, you know, what have been some of your impressions so far of the game?
It's perfect. It's the FromSoft has done it again. Armored Core fans are going to feel right at home. It's so good.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things people are going to notice is that it still feels fresh, but it's very familiar. The level of customization and testing out different leg types and different weapons, and it's very visceral and heavy still, which I think is a big thing that kind of sets Armored Core apart from a lot of other.
They really are in their element.
It's fast, but it feels good. It's very visceral.
I like that you said heavy. It feels heavy.
Yeah.
Like you can really feel like you're doing some damage in them, right?
Yeah.
So that's really awesome. today we'll be doing more than just sharing impressions. Let's get into some gameplay. Yeah?
Let's go.
While Fighting Cowboy gets set up, Oroboro, what would you say are some key strategies that viewers should keep an eye out while playing, you know, Armored Core?
Okay, so the main thing is the mech customization.
Right.
You know, changing out your parts, your AC, your build, and the biggest thing is the legs. The legs change your gameplay entirely. When you switch your legs, it feels like you're playing an entirely different game.
Okay.
It's awesome. There's a couple different types of legs. Bipedal are like the standard mech legs that let you move super quick. There's reverse joints, which are really cool. You can jump in the air super high. Quads, or tetrapods they call them in this game, allow you to hover now in the air.
Ooh.
And you can actually rain down like fire
Oh,
upon
I
your
love
foes.
that.
It's awesome. It's so good. And then there's tanks, which of course are just beefy monstrosities. You can't even touch them. They're super tanky, super powerful.
And Oro's doing a good job.
Cowboy's a big
You
fan
know,
of those.
really? Well,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see, you know, Fighting Cowboy. So let's head over and check him out.
Oh, you know what's funny? Oh, I think Oro's doing a pretty good job at not looking silly, you know, with his hands, and it's not easy. I'm telling you guys.
First missions of Chapter 2, Infiltrate Grid 086. So we're going to go over the assembly I'm running with for this mission briefly. We are working with a pretty well-balanced AC here. We have the Curtis. This is a linear rifle, so it can be charged to do some extra damage. This gives us a little bit of range for targets that are a little farther out.
Like, you guys remember, like, every showcase, like, the devs look a bit stupid because they don't know what to do with their body, their stance, their hands. Like, they should take notes from Oro.
Launch from the back, 10 cell. This is going to be capable of multi-lock, and it's a forward-facing missile, so it's pretty consistent to hit targets with. And then we are pulling out the pile bunker. I know a weapon a lot of people have been waiting to see. This thing it hits like a truck. You can charge and do some massive damage with this. Out of the various melee weapons, this has definitely become one of my favorites.
Fighting Cowboy looks like he fits with the background. He looks like the mechanic, like, in
really nice archetype
in the armory or whatever.
Hover up in the air, hang above enemies with stuff like the charge shot on the linear rifle. We don't have kickback from that while we're in hover, so that's very nice. And then we have a FCS that is set up for a little bit of missile as well as medium range. And of course, we can dive in and we can see that this is basically 130 to 260.
The live is low volume.
So I have a good meter range on enemies. We're going to also be working with assault armor, so you'll see that. But otherwise, let's jump in and sort you. I am going to be skipping the dialogue here. Don't want to spoil the intros and whatnot. There's actually a pretty rich story here, but that's definitely something I want to let y'all discover on your own.
I can't go higher than that, unfortunately.
You may notice this is the same mission that they initially showed off with the very first gameplay reveal we got.
I've sent you the marker data. Let's head toward the elevator going to the upper level.
All my volume is maxed out. I think their presentation is just very low volume. It's fine? Alright. The 120 FPS. I can't wait to try this game at 120 FPS though, that's for sure. Guys seems kind of bad. Guys, come on, like, these guys probably had, like, you can count on, like, 2 hands the amount of time they had playing this game. Like, everyone is going to be bad when they start, to an extent. Just learning the new stuff.
A couple enemies left, but they're down to where they're not going to be a problem. We can take them out real fast.
Must be a lot of pressure, that too.
See the multi-missiles going in. Definitely something that I've been a big fan of this. The missile locks are incredibly satisfying. So right back here, you can see I have a little thing popping up that says Ricochet. We basically have a effective range on a lot of our weapons. And so if that Ricochet text is showing up, that means you need to be closer to the target to really get any damage that you want to get in.
2 repair kits remain.
You think you could just waltz straight in here? Hope you're watching, bud.
saw there. We're gonna try and get off a full hit with the pile bunker, just so y'all can see exactly what it does.
Boom!
It's so hard. I love that thing.
Hostile AC destroyed.
Looks like you're having fun, tourist.
And here the level really opens up.
Love the good welcome party.
So we could go over there, work our way. There's a whole bridge we could take here. There's some stuff back there. But we're gonna end up doing, there's some MTs we can get first. So let's head on up there, see if we can.
Call sign Stormstone.
I'm actually gonna try and, so you can see they're unaware right now. Let's see if I can get all the way up and get a pile bunker on them while they're unaware. Oh, not quite.
What I don't think I've seen a lot of yet, and I think this is going to be the optimal way to play this game with the new systems, is actually using cover. I feel like the use of cover is going to be the main element that's going to come into like playing the missions well, as well as playing the PvP well.
Way back there. Ooh, just barely.
Just a guess though. Especially since you can't evade the lock-on, it would be pretty much the only way to avoid attacks. It would be to close the line of fire behind cover.
We got him down. So definitely looking a little bit rough. We've gone through a lot of enemies so far. AP is pretty low. But we're gonna still cruise along.
No, I'm not criticizing fighting's gameplay. Like, I'm just saying.
Nope, not what I wanted to do.
The audio mix sounds shit. Honestly, it's this, it's their whole presentation. Like, the stream quality is ass, you know, the audio is like, his voice is fine, but the game is like very, very low. That's on Bandai though. That's Bandai's fault for this for sure. Well, that's just a presentation thing that has nothing to do with the game. Now, you guys have to give them a chance, you know. Bandai is a small indie publisher, you know. They don't make a lot of money. They have your priorities at heart. Wait a sec, I think I'm confusing this.
Doing a couple little spins here. Alright, gate is open, let's head on up. Now that we're in close encounters, we gotta be extra careful. The last thing we want to do is get popped off by a big explosive or something. We're going up, we're gonna scan the environment. You can see this guy will take him out fast. I can see another one hiding right here under the grate. That good old FromSoft trickery.
Nice. Indeed, good old FromSoft.
No! Oh god.
Oof.
Almost got me with this little dagger.
He's out of repair kits too.
This is now a survival run at 365 AP.
Oh, now he's using cover more because he's low. See? That's probably how you're going to play this more, honestly. See how, because he started getting low, started using the pillar?
See a chest down
We're definitely going to see more of that.
Discover that stuff on your own. Gat is officially out of ammo, but that gives me a chance to show off some punching. Sneaking around here, so we have, all right, so no other enemies over here.
I like that these missions are not on the rail though. Like you can tell that, you know, it's going to be more similar to your first experience than any other showcase that you've seen previously, pretty much. Oof.
Oh no! From behind us, an ambush. So when you die in Armored Core, you're able to restart the whole mission or restart from a checkpoint. We're going to go ahead and restart from a recent checkpoint. And this is, of course, going to give us back all of our ammunition. We'll be a full AP. We'll get all of our heals back. So it's definitely a game where if you fall, you're supposed to get back up and try again.
Yeah, honestly, guys, I'm not a big fan of that. Like the fact that you pretty much get freebies. You can pretty much die almost freely. Like the only thing this is going to affect is the mission rank at the end.
This is a fun little encounter. We can see
I'm not that much of a fan of like
We're gonna go ahead and
these very generous like missions. That's just me though. You might think otherwise, and it's fine. Tactical dying to reveal stuff? Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Let's go back and take down those other ACs that ambushed us last time.
But keep in mind, guys, we don't know how long some of these missions are. Like, some of these missions could be very long, so you definitely need checkpoints for very long missions.
Chest. Let's see, we got a 2C 3000 record, so that's just going to be an AC part. And that's one of the really fun things about this is similar to some older entries in the franchise, we're able to find chests in certain levels that will give us parts we can collect. Just
that's cool.
Unique things that you can't buy in the shop, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So coming up on the door, we have a boss, and right before that, we would have a supply Sherpa, which right here, if you made it this far, you can go ahead and supply. You'll get all of your health back, all of your ammo, and you'll be ready to go into the boss completely fresh. But here we are actually going to wrap things up and pass it on to my good friend Oroboro to try and tackle the boss.
All right. So many cool areas just in this
Fighting
level.
Cowboy demonstrated his amazing maneuverability in his AC. I was smiling the whole time. I kind of wanted him to keep going. And I love that he demonstrated like how much you can use that 360 view. Oh, he's here. Welcome back, Fighting Cowboy. I saw you smiling the whole time. I smiled when you smiled, actually.
It's fun. It's hard to not smile while you're playing this.
I can't wait to play because that was fun to watch. What tips do you have for players who might not be used to this 360-degree movement?
So I think a big thing with Armored Core is your leg types move very differently. Your reverse joints give you a lot of vertical mobility. Your tetrapods, as you saw, was able to hover in place. The tank might not have mobility, but it's a lot beefier. So I think a big thing with this game is just trying out different parts and finding what works. And one of the things that's really nice is, as opposed to like, respecking in other games, you just buy the parts. So, in that example where I died, if I had gone to assembly, I could have traded out for tank treads and made my character a lot stronger with more defense and then jumped right back in. So it's really about kind of mixing and matching and just...
That is too much fun. That is too much fun. That aspect to me is just, the possibility is endless.
Yeah, it really is. There's a lot you can do in the customization.
And you can, how many, ACs do you have like in your arsenal?
Personally, I have like 14 already.
14? Oh, man.
But we haven't gotten into like the meme ACs yet. We're making the fun ones right now.
I feel like that too much fun, dude, is about to become a meme, man.
Camos,
I feel like we just witnessed the creation of an internet meme.
Go ahead. If you want to make the edgiest, darkest AC, go ahead. The pinkest, brightest AC, go ahead. That's the beauty of this game.
The cool thing is like, they have model kits too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's like some people can emulate their model kits from, Armored Core and bring it to this game. But, I pretty much have a question for you. I really want to ask you, what is your favorite legs in the... I really want to know, because we keep talking about the legs. What's your favorite?
Lately I've been playing a lot of tetrapods, but I'm a beefy boy at heart, so it's got to be tanks.
I love that.
It's got to be the tank.
Thank you so much, Fighting Cowboy. That was awesome. Well, hopefully our viewers can try out some of those tips at launch. All right, next up, take a look over at Oroboro as he picks up at the start of a boss fight with the Smart Cleaner.
All right. Let's go, Oro.
All right, so we're going to pick off right where Cowboy left us off, right before the Smart Cleaner boss fight, which I'll be going over in just a second. I just want to say Cowboy did an amazing job. I was on the edge of my seat watching him with 300 AP left. But here we are. I'm going to go into the boss fight and sort of, you know, show you guys what you can expect from...
I actually love this, guys. Here. If I'm being honest, like, this is just so
I've
great.
Opted for a biped with sort of your default missiles and some linear rifles, dual linear rifles. I also have a blade that I can swap to and go in and try to hit him. But we'll soon discover that staying close to him is a terrible strategy, as he does a lot.
Oh my god, the camera, Oro. You're just exposing the game here. Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
The stagger gauge is really low.
Everyone that told me that they had to make the lock-on like this for the camera, you guys are fucking drunk.
We're going for the melee hit.
Jesus, man. This is probably like the worst camera I've seen in like any of From Software game.
Try our best here. And he got us. But we're gonna change the build to adapt to the situation. So I've discovered that there's another lock-on point on top of him there, and I'm thinking that might be another weak spot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into assembly. After you die, you can go to assembly and you can change your mech entirely. So we're gonna.
He's gonna pick the quad legs.
Quadrupeds.
He's gonna hover above it. I heard there's a cheese.
Just a little bit
this
here
boss.
And try to adapt to the situation.
I've heard that you can cheese this boss with quad legs by hovering on top of him.
You can go in with any mech you like. You can play the entire game.
I think that's what Oro's about to do.
And changing your build on the fly is a huge aspect of this game. We're also going to equip terminal armor, which just in case we die, it actually saves us. So we'll equip that in the expansion slot. So now we've completely changed our mech. We've equipped 2 songbirds, which are grenade cannons, which, as you can see, does a lot of damage here. It's going to be pretty good, I think, for the boss. So let's go back in with our revised mech and see how we do. A new strategy this time. We're going to try to hover over the boss with the unique aspect I was talking about earlier with the quadruped.
Telling you guys.
So as you can see,
I've heard from the Japanese playtest that you could cheese the boss by just hovering over it because he didn't have any.
Because right there, that bleep is the eruption coming out. That means you gotta be quick.
He doesn't have any other attack but this eruption that can catch you when you're in the air.
So I'm gonna drop down and light him up. Cool. The best tip I can give for the Smart Cleaner is stay away. You need to stay away from him. His cleaves, his sweeps are nasty.
I've also heard that the only thing you have to worry about when you do that is your energy, which Oro is very low on right now. You should touch the ground while the boss is down, for instance.
The stagger that we're pulling
because the boss is getting up, and then Oro's out of energy right here.
But as you can see, that was close. You got to be careful, and actually we got to back up and conserve our energy because we're quite low at the bottom there. Ooh, wow! All right, he's getting angry. Trying to back up, reposition, and hover in the air, and then we're gonna try to float over to his weak spot again and light him up. There we go. Oh my goodness! Look at that damage. This is it.
When the boss is down like that is when you're supposed to go down to regain energy pretty much.
Like, you know,
this is I'm saying this because a lot of people have played this boss in Japan already because there was an event
so other builds
and they described the strategy as I'm describing it to you right now.
Any Armored Core 6 players diving in is to try to adapt if you're having trouble. Also, we are having trouble. He is really angry. He does not want me to kill him. We're gonna float up and try to finish him here. Here we go. We got the stun. We're getting that direct hit damage. Oh, I went for the finisher. I'm doing it again. There we go.
Good shit, Oro.
Perfect kick finish. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay. And we'll see you soon for some PvP action for World First.
Shutdown confirmed.
Yeah, if I have to say something though,
Oh my gosh, Oroboro
I
really
like-
got me on
I like that
edge with
these
that one,
showcases are not
especially
on
with the
rail
chip damage and everything. I was just, that was amazing.
because we see
The
some
efficiency
raw
was
gameplay,
astronomical.
and the
I
camera
just
was kind of garbage.
really
Like,
impressed. I was
as
taking
soon as
notes
he got
actually
next to the
during
boss,
his
we
whole
could not
fight,
see
and
shit.
I love that he actually changed up his build. And he's here right now. I love that. And you explained everything so well.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, we know that this is a philosophy of observe and learn. That's a common DNA of From Software games.
Yeah.
Is this true in Armored Core as well?
Oh, very much so. You know, it's a traditional FromSoft title. So, you know, as you can see, like he had the telegraphed attacks, and you have to remember to dodge it, and you could very quickly learn to stay away from him because he does those big sweeps, you know, and they're super cool. But yeah, From Software are known for the difficulty, fair but punishing. That's the main thing.
And to me, I feel like that's super fun because you can just come in with different, you know, ACs and then figure out what works best for you.
Exactly.
And your tactics, right? And I love that you told all of us like what you were doing each time. So that's reassuring to hear. I noticed that the parts that you chose in assembly seem to play a specific role in the way you fight. Can you elaborate that? What should players keep in mind when customizing their Armored Core?
Okay, so the big thing about customizing like your Armored Core, again, is the legs that make a huge difference. As you can see, I switched to the quadrupeds there, and I had a much easier time with the boss.
See.
You know, and that goes for all the customization in the game too. You know, you have to balance the equip load with your energy output, and you've really got to, you know, balance this perfectly to make your mech like
to
as
the
good as
T
it
of
can
what
be.
you want it to be.
Super efficient. And that's
I feel
what I'm
like,
all about.
and I see that because, you know, you switched out and you knew exactly what to do and you went in and you conquered.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like I should ask this because we're trying to learn here. And I'm sure people at home want to learn. What is your favorite build so far?
Ooh.
Yeah, like that.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, I know. But your favorite build,
I have a lot. Okay, so my favorite build personally is dual linear rifles.
Okay.
And I like to stay away from them and then switch to the blade when they're staggered.
Oh, man.
I pull out the blade on the back. The garage has like a offhand thing. It's really cool.
And I know that I was asking this, you know, to Cowboy. So what was your favorite legs? I keep on talking about the legs because that's very important.
It's very important
because
in
the
Armored
weight
Core.
too.
Yes,
the weight too, right?
Exactly.
So you have to keep in mind of the weight and everything. So what was your favorite legs in the, you know, for AC units?
I like the classic bipedal. I always have, you know.
Okay.
Back in Armored Core 4, I was obsessed with bipedals, you know, just the normal ones, but they're still really cool, you know. For those players who like to move fast, there's no better option. And I like to be super quick, super nimble, super lightweight. That's my main play style.
I mean, you were pretty efficient.
Yeah.
You were pretty efficient. That was pretty fast. I mean, majority of the time when people are trying to figure out like what units are, how to make it look, I think that a special thing in Armored Core 6 is that everyone can share their ACs.
Oh my gosh, that's the coolest feature ever.
Yeah.
So if I make an AC and let's say anyone wanted to copy the AC for that boss, you know, the quadruped that destroyed that boss, I could upload the code, I could give it to my friends, share it with anybody, and they can just buy the parts instantly if they have that part unlocked. It just works.
I love that
so
about
cool.
it. Because the thing is, like, I mean, back then you would just take a screenshot or something and then just upload it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's like showcasing your build is like the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. And I also like that you can add the decals and then colorization and everything too.
Don't get me started on the customization.
No, I want to.
That's
Please
my favorite
elaborate.
part.
Okay.
So it's just so good. You can, you know, it's a classic. You can pick any color, but you can pick like any color on any color. Like the parts, each individual part has like, I think 6 different colors
Please
to choose
do
from.
geek out on this because I totally love that.
You can change the materials. You can make it like shine. You can have you can add patterns and stuff. You can make it like rusty, and it just went absolutely ham this time.
I am so excited.
On the customization, it's awesome.
I have this idea because, you know, Armored Core obviously has model kits. I'm thinking I can make a model kit that's exactly like the one I have in game.
That would be so
You know
cool.
what I mean? I mean, you could do that too.
I could do that.
You could do that.
I would
but then
treasure that forever.
You might have like a bunch of, you know, ACs after this, right?
Yeah. Oh, I already have 5 ready to go for the PvP segment. I'm super excited to show
the
off to you guys.
PvP is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's ever really seen it yet. I mean, this is the
Yeah, we've seen it a few hours ago.
It's going to be crazy.
So excited.
I mean,
on the
do you have
Japanese showcase,
any
we've seen a
words
little
for
bit
your
of it.
competition right now?
Ooh.
Yeah, do you have any words?
It's a little unfair since Cowboy's not in the room with me.
It's not unfair. I mean,
good luck.
okay.
Good luck, Cowboy. That's what I have to say. Good luck.
Okay. Well, I mean, is there anything else that you can tell the people at home that is watching right now about Armored Core? Like what you love most about this game in particular.
A lot of people are worried that this game is going to be too Souls-like, right? That's a word that goes around a lot. And I can say that this is the Armored Core we know and love. This is Armored Core to a T. After playing it, it's just perfect. It's exactly what we wanted for 10 years of waiting. And they nailed it. It couldn't have been any better.
I mean, just hearing that from you and everyone here has blown me away, because the last one I've played personally was 3, and then that was a long time ago, and I really am excited because they do take some elements of older games and put it into this game.
Yes,
which I think is so awesome.
Yeah,
and well, I mean, now that we have PvP and you can play with your friends, you already have a group of friends that you're gonna bring onto your we're getting the old clan back from 5 together again. Oh really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you want to give a shout out to any of them?
Oh gosh. Joker King and Luke. Those are my 2 go-tos. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And Lightning Count, of course. Gosh,
we'll
go on all day, but yeah.
I'm really excited to join in with my community. I know that the community is really large. I mean, it was smaller and niche before, but then it's just going to get really big. I mean, I'm sure you're excited about that too.
Oh my gosh, this is Armored Core's moment. For years, and it's sort of been a little niche, but I think now that FromSoft has gotten so huge after Elden Ring that it's finally going to see the light of day. I mean, this production value and everything here is just incredible.
I just can't
I'm blown
wait.
away.
I mean, it's a dream come true
to
many of us. We're so excited to be here. This
I'm
is
trying not to
crazy.
nerd out so hard.
No, please nerd out. We are here to nerd out, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just excited because I'm hoping for more kits.
Oh my gosh!
Some more model kits or something. I mean, I do think whoa.
The collector's edition statue.
Oh, that one's really nice.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I think that I do want to ask you: are there any tips and tricks for this game in particular that you can give everyone else that are new to this game?
So the main thing that I was sort of trying to go over in my gameplay segment is that change your mech, adapt to the situation. If
are they ever going to move on? Yeah, it's starting to get pretty long now.
Which are like the normal guns. Try using a laser weapon. Maybe it's weak to laser.
Come on now, we want to see stuff.
Energy damage. Just adapt to the situation.
Right.
Go into assembly, change out your parts, your legs, your weapons, your shoulders, anything, and just try stuff. And you'll be surprised how effective stuff can be.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like our segment is just us geeking out, and I love that.
Yeah, I know. It's been fun.
But, thank you so much.
Honestly, they're being saved by
Thank you.
the streamers that have been invited, they're showmen, they're used to talking about anything on the spot, whether it's Oro, whether it's Fighting Cowboy or Vati. I feel like they had no substance to ask them, but the streamers kind of saved the day because that's what they're good at. If imagine, for instance, they invited fucking Asmongold or Moist Critical, can you imagine how boring that would have been? Usually these guys have nothing to say for games like that, but we're lucky we have actual content creators that know their stuff about the games.
Activating cerebral coral control device.
Well, another 5 minutes, I guess. I think Cowboy was amazing. I think so far all our content creators are doing pretty good, honestly. They're making this very interesting. Four minutes to prep PvP. Yep. Guys, if you need to take a pee break, need to get something to eat, get something to drink,
has awakened.
now is the time. you pause the vid? It's okay, you still have 3 minutes. Yeah, next is the PvP showcase. That's what they said. So we're about to see what the PvP looks like. Honestly, if I'm being honest, guys, I'm actually curious to hear what some of these content creators have to say when we get behind the curtain, if you know what I mean. Like, when I get to speak to some of them, like, directly, I'm actually very curious to hear what they have to say about the PvP. Very curious.
Watch out.
Because they can't say anything bad here. Like, no one would be able to do that. That would just be disrespectful. It's just not the place to be, like, critical. Like, this is a marketing event. And they're not going to critique the game on the spot. Like, if some of you are expecting that, like, it's just not going to happen. But we are going to do this on stream, though. We're going to be fair. Wait, what is that? Okay. Oh, man. We're Souls gamers, we're not going to be fair, we're going to maul about everything. Fighting Cowboy in 6-1 in match history? Is that true? Damn. The Fighting Cowboy be mauling them. Can't wait to see, though. I feel like that's going to be interesting to take a look at the PvP. Would be funny to have someone completely demolish the game. No, come on. We don't want that. Like, I think one thing, if you guys are here, I think we all want the game to succeed. We all want the game to be good, but in order for the game to achieve that, it requires us to be honest and give proper feedback, because we know that From Software will indeed take good feedback and will implement it. Even if it takes a long time. It took a year to get to 1.10 in Elden Ring, but the game is much better now than it ever was. So I'm confident that even if the game is not great right now at this particular showcase, if we voice our concern, if we're clear about it, if we're vocal about it, it is going to get better. No, Gabri has nothing to do with this. Alright, let's take a look here. PvP gameplay. Alright.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we head into the frenzy of PvP, I would like to introduce you to Zealous from Armored Core Legacy, who will be our commentator today.
I don't know this guy.
Fantastic to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for being here. I'm so happy to see you. Zealous, oh my gosh. It is nice to see you. It is really nice to see you. Behind the scenes, we have From Chang and Cleric playing PvP together. Zealous, can you tell us a little bit more about Armored Core Legacy?
Yeah, I'd love to speak to that here. Yeah. So the project came about a little over 10 years ago. This was during the Armored Core 5 Verdict Day era. During that time, and From Chang came to a few members of the Midwest community, myself, Tierson, who can't be with us today, as other team member.
Right.
And also my friend Cleric, who's here today. He's going to be in for PvP, of course, PvP session. And
He's awesome.
The idea that we had, and that Chang proposed to us was come up with a fan site to help support the Armored Core community from the grassroots and the very base, and kind of build up the foundation. So as far as what we do, if it's Armored Core related, we loved it. We love to post it. It's been fun to have that torch burning during this period, during this 10 years something way, that we've had and then we've had going for it. So But speaking of the legacy of Armored Core, there's a lot involved in that. It's not just the games, it's not just the classics, because Armored Core has ranged since PS1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Obviously, we skipped the PS4 era, and we're in here to current. But we also chronicle the history of the competitive scene in the tournaments. A lot of you out there may not know it, but Armored Core had a very, very, very bright, vibrant tournament scene, PvP scene. In fact, driving across state lines, that was not a uncommon thing we did. I remember lugging the big CRTVs around, you know, like the PS2s and the memory cards and all.
Is so rich.
The whole deal. It's kind of like the start of the fighting game community. If anything,
right.
You know?
That really
That's actually true.
And, you know,
he's right.
It did inspire me hearing.
He is correct on that.
You, especially with community.
Exactly. We had there was the Midwest scene, there was the West Coast, the California scene, which had the biggest, baddest tournament outside of Japan, Masters of California.
Wow.
We had an East Coast scene and also the Southern scene too. So there's so many events encapsulated in all that, and part of our goal too was to help capture that tournament history and to speak to it and everything. And
I like that this guy is saying these things because
the currency of the
it gives some motivation or from software to take the PvP seriously.
Ecosystem that really made up AAC. So our goal was to really try to speak to those things.
But yeah, it's not very loud. I agree.
And do what we could.
That's amazing. Armored Core Legacy, I hope you guys last forever. And I hope that you grow.
Thank you.
Especially now with this game coming out. We're so glad to have the veterans of the community here with us. That's important. For this
software
showcase.
don't watch this event. Of course not, but Bandai does.
We will be seeing today.
Let's dive in.
In Armored Core 6, you can select from 1v1 or 3v3.
And a 3v3 is a test.
All right, let's go.
Teams earning points over a set time.
Today we will be watching a 3v3 with Oroboro and Fighting Cowboy as team captains.
Okay, so they have their own team.
It's going to have a Bandai Namco team member as well as an Armored Core Legacy player supporting each cap.
Our Armored Core Legacy players from Chang will be joining Oroboro, and Cleric will be on Team Fighting Cowboy.
Right on. I'll tell you what, Fighting Cowboy and Oroboro specifically, we have this kind of bloodbath going, you know, between them, there's this rivalry. It's hilarious. Look, I've been listening to it all day. The banter in the hall, the banter at lunch and everything, these guys are ready to get
Actually, you know what? I do remember the story that on social media that they were posting pictures online.
Yeah, you probably heard of some of this.
They're trolling back and forth.
The trash talk has already started, and this is great because this brings back memories of the tournament scene. We do this same thing. You start beforehand, you start during, it goes after. So I can't.
This PvP section.
This is the section.
This is what we're all waiting for.
Absolutely.
I was scouring.
Yeah, man, that hard lock is
and obviously we're doing
dude.
this today, and I know that there's no PvP online.
Right.
This is the debut.
That's hard lock and no turning speed, man.
I even watched the
You can't hide it. It's definitely a flaw.
We're going to see some good stuff today.
That's the important thing here. We don't have anything canned. There's nothing pre-recorded here. Everything with PvP
Everything
today
is
going to be live right here. Absolutely.
I'm so excited
to go through this.
Where's the cover? Well, it's a flat map. No cover here.
Friends with some of the team captains, but
no cover. All lock on.
As far as where things go, we'll see where it takes us. It's hard to pick favorites here.
Oh man, I mean for PvP in general, what is the most important thing when you're thinking about doing, like playing with others in Armored Core? What is the most important thing that you would like to tell anyone if they're just starting out and they're playing with their friends?
Yeah, if you're playing with your friends and you're getting into versus, I'd encourage you, don't let nerves get to you about, I don't have like the meta build of the day, or I'm not using like the main current thing, or whatever flavor of the day it is. Get in, enjoy your designs. Maybe you ran something in the
main system rebooting, so there is respawns, and the game is on a timer, and it looks like they don't have repair kits either. So no repair kits and respawn, which is very different from what we had before.
I think that
it wasn't about respawn. Before it was team elimination, which made it more tactical.
Oh man.
The fact that it's not team elimination is a bit of a bummer, if I'm being honest.
Fighting Cowboy running this tank, he's been an absolute bruiser setting up here. Oroboro trying to get in play.
Dude in there.
He is a beefy dude. Beefy dude IRL, beefy dude.
And indeed, it does seem like the tank is the play.
He wasn't joking when he was talking to me earlier.
He wasn't.
Yeah, look at that.
Going down, taking the first down. Now, I got to make it a really important point here. Something's happening here we didn't have in the previous Armored Core games. There is a respawn system, and there's a point system you see up there that's happening at the top of the screen. Past AC games, if you were out, you were out. That was it. But not here, you get a timer, and the longer you stay alive, the more points you're actually worth. We're actually zooming in, going to be looking at some of the strategies everybody's putting down. Oro going down after putting out the assault armor. He's ready to push your opponent back here.
He's ready to come back.
But he's chomping at the bit. He's chomping at the bit. He's ready to get back in.
He's thinking now. He's like, okay, you think you're playing.
Yeah, what's up, Avok? Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
Everybody's going to be putting forward and using here. Oro's getting right back in there with the assault boost. Really the new version of overboost. Those of you who played Armored Core 2 and beyond, you're going to remember where we were standing with that.
And all the parts that are moving right now, they're controlling every single piece of that.
Exactly, exactly. You know, now there is it's important to note, they're not using every single part that's available. There's a list, kind of a canned list of parts we can use today because we can't use everything.
Oh, I see.
But let me tell you
so they're limited in their build choice, but that shouldn't really matter too much for this presentation.
Let's come out with some multiple designs. I definitely want to play to some of the granular things that are going to be happening here in Strat. You see that stagger bar building up. Staggered.
You definitely want to build that stagger.
Imagine if you have a full team that's set up for stagger. You just focus fire and you just stun lock someone to death like right away.
They love each other. I'm sure they love
I could see that.
They love each other.
There's a lot of love lost. A lot of it. Oh, my God. Got to speak to the gameplay loop.
And it would be so easy to focus fire given that this game is pretty much hard lock.
But a good portion is to be ready. Make sure your weapons aren't overheat. Chain stun, get that boost kick in the blade, whatever you can to put your opponent down. In the chaos of PvP here,
also, since we're seeing PvP for the first time, I'm noticing that the speed overall, even when we get to the screen of like faster ACs like Oro here, it's not as fast. It's definitely not as fast as the 5th and 4th gen.
He's like, I gotta get
maybe a little bit faster than 3rd gen, but definitely not faster than 4th and 5th gen for sure.
1720-bit beta, 1824 here. There it is.
Man.
There it is. And fighting Cowboy with the
wow, that was intense.
Vicious smile.
That was a crazy match. Like, that's our first PvP match.
This map sucks. I would say so, yeah. This is not a good map for team matches.
Like,
I would
what do
agree.
you have to say about that? Like, what did you notice about their gameplay and also their, ACs?
Right.
Like, what do you have done differently?
Obviously, definitely. I always say, hindsight's 2020, right? Or like, backseat piloting, as it were. But seriously, obviously, there's a real melee when it comes to PvP. That the chaos of the scene, dealing with things in the moment.
Right.
One thing I did see a lot of is there's a lot of team play. There's a lot of focused targeting. You notice when there was a stagger that happened on someone specific in the opposite team, everybody else would swarm around, really focus, zone in on them, and try to take full advantage of that. That's the key. As far as doing things different, it's difficult to discern that because it's something you have to think about in real time. You're listening to your team members. Those of you who play Armored Core 5 and Verdict Day, you'd be familiar with this. You're trying to coordinate with them. You don't want to be the guy to rush out too fast or get caught out. Maybe you're too far ahead of your
Communication
team.
is very important.
Or you might be hanging
By the way, for those who don't know,
kind of fire support
I've been part of exactly what he's describing. I've played Verdict Day, which was their main PvP game for Armored Core for
might be the first time that they're
a
playing
year and a
Armored
half,
Core
2
game.
years.
I mean,
and it was my main game, so I was really involved in that game. It was really good, actually.
Tips, like as a new
PvP
player?
was amazing.
The biggest thing as a new player, get a control scheme that's comfortable to you. You'll notice when you guys come in, if you're setting up with gamepad, there's type A, B, and C for the control. You can really sit down. You can also make your own custom control layout. That's certainly what I've done. I have a variation of type A controls I like to use.
I did that too, but
let's go, baby.
Going back into another match.
Let's go.
Taking a pan of our team.
All right, we get another match. I love it. All right, let's go.
Everybody's got their emblems ready to go.
Look at that.
Cleric by his side in the white Graviton tank. And we've got team green screen, the glitch in the matrix here.
They all got it thought out.
From Chang, let's go. All right.
Oroboro and from Chang here, ready live to kick off.
Yeah, I really like the commentary from
our second
the guy that's representing Armored Core Legacy.
I still can't believe we're doing PvP
really
today.
insightful commentary.
I know that my community at home is freaking out right now.
Look, the Gundam fans, if you got anybody coming from that, look, they gotta
all
be
of
digging
them
this right now.
This is the game,
This is the game. This is it.
And when you play, it feels weighty. It feels
there's weight
amazing.
and half to your AC.
Yes.
There's just that chunkiness to everything you're doing. So fighting Cowboy,
I'm gonna be honest, guys. This is one of the rare times I've ever watched a game where I don't really know where the skill is. Like, I'm watching this and I actually have no idea what a skilled play even is.
Like, look at that.
Which is not the case for any Armored Core game I've ever played, first of all. But I would not be able to tell you, like, what's the optimal play here.
Running dual back cannons instead of those dual rockets. He's got the dual laser cannons. Anybody remember in Armored Core 4? I'm thinking of the Sirius. So
and, you know, I say that. I have a lot of experience in various competitive games.
Like Cleric.
Cleric is
I actually have no clue here. Like, I don't even know what you're... Like, what is supposed to be the optimal play here? Like, how do you play well?
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
If you can't aim, you can't aim better. If you can't flank your enemy, you can't have better positioning necessarily. If there's no cover, you can't use the cover to your advantage to pop shots. Where is the skill here? Is my question.
It is a back and forth.
Don't get hit, forehead.
Right back in. Using his pulse shield as well. These are really important. You guys remember the beautiful, beautiful boost kick coming from Fighting Cowboy. If you remember the extension parts in the previous core games, it's kind of like that. You get core ability extensions you can make use of.
You know, when you have lock-on systems like that, usually...
Somebody finally looking up and taking the quad.
Usually there's a lot that's emphasis on timing and spacing, but in this, this is like shooting, focused on shooting mechanics. Like, there's not much spacing going on.
Everything moves so fast.
And same thing with the timing. There's no dodge iframes or anything like that.
You do. Not just with your own AC, lining up your own attack.
It's really hard to say.
Coordinate the best you
with
can
your team.
With your team. Huge stun here going down on Cleric, and Cleric takes the down.
And once the game comes out, you already know. People are just taking advantage of all the, all
like, I feel like the outcome of every match would be decided on, like, the team, like, applying properly focus fire on one target. And so basically just DPS output on one guy, switch target, DPS output the second guy. And this would probably...
2 minutes.
This would probably just end up being like cookie cutter, whatever has the most defense, the highest offense, that can just dish out and as a team, or like Stunlock or something like that, right? That's what I could see technically being like the quote-unquote optimal strategy.
He's loving it. He's loving it.
The perfect villains are always smiling.
Aren't they though?
When they're taking everyone down.
I think this guy watched Rocky 4.
I mean,
Focus fire has always been like the proper strat for Armored Core games and team fights, but
he doesn't play around.
He does not.
No.
Because there was a lot more that was involved, such as in every generation but the fourth, there was some aiming going on. In the fifth generation, a lot of cover was involved.
Fantastic.
Turning speed was a big deal, and so flanking your enemies were a big part of it as well.
We're actually encouraged to do that.
And then in fourth generation, outmaneuvering your opponent was a big deal as well, because if you outmaneuvered your opponent never had a chance to retaliate because you were always off screen. So that was the skill that was there. But none of these things are present here. So it's very difficult to say like what you're actually supposed to be doing here.
It's real close right now. It's like,
and Cowboy taking the down. I know Oro's got to be enjoying that.
And also, I understand that this is the PvP. You're on a timer and you're supposed to be dying, but how do you avoid being like? What do you do if you're being targeted by multiple people? Like, what is the play there?
Over to Alpha Teams at 1692. Where are we going from here? Oro with low AP.
Like, are you guaranteed to die every single time that people target you? Like multiple people?
Let's see what happens with this hustle. Oro going down. Obviously, his core expansion being used. The rest of his team trying to pull together here. This 5 seconds, last 5 seconds.
Let's go.
That countdown, and it is over. Finished.
Oh.
We have Alpha Team up 1958.
No more gunboat.
There it is. And finally, Cowboy just taking some time to relish this. Relishing this kill.
That was amazing. How did you guys think about that at home? I mean, that PvP was so crazy. Guys, it was so good.
If that doesn't get you guys hyped, I'm not sure what does. I mean, this
is our world premiere.
And this has come so far from, the PvP of.
Like, this has come pretty far, I must say.
PS2 games, what we're able to do here now and seeing the team combat, unreal.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. That PvP is extremely unimpressive.
It's also weighty.
Right.
You can
it's
feel
very
everything
weak
that you're putting onto your unit.
It is extremely weak,
doing
even
some damage.
Right.
And you're thinking for the moment when you're using everything. Not one button is not used in this game.
Exactly. Everything is getting utilized. So the best part, there's a bit of a love letter here. There's something for all of you out there, whether, despite where you come from with Armored Core. Those of you who loved Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer, you're probably loving the assault armor that was happening going off there. You'll remember Kojima Particles chorus.
If I had to give like something positive out of this, though, I think what they should be considering is
an assault burst. So it's
I don't know if it's an option, if I'm being honest. That would be a big deal, but reintroducing turning speed and then removing that hard lock in PvP
they're bringing back
would go a
into
long
this
way
game.
to
I've
improving
heard it
this for sure.
Time and time again from hardcore Armored Core players. What are the things that you noticed? I know Vati mentioned some things too.
Yeah, he pointed to a few things. I'm going to be talking a lot more to combat because I'm still juiced.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
just totally insane.
Yes.
One thing you guys saw put in play is the
also
the
put
kick.
cover in the maps. I'm sure there's maps with cover, but
the boost kick.
the fact that there's a lot of like right now we've seen only maps that barely had any cover. That's also an issue.
Into another, and now we can still do that here. The boost kick coming back from AC5. I was just talking about
any strategic maps
coming back from AC4 as I say AC4.
Yeah, definitely.
Assault boost, aka overboost.
I mean, it is a range game. You need cover for this.
You've got part dropping back from Armored Core 3. It's really all over the series.
Oh man,
unbelievable! And we've got our third round.
Yeah, I know there are maps with covers, dude.
Squad,
but
Alpha.
So far, we've seen 2 maps with 0 cover.
He looks like he's ready to take this one.
He is.
We're just going by what they're showing.
Boro's got something to prove here. And
Yeah, he does.
He's not leaving. Look at the Gatling gun, lady.
Oh my
God.
He means
they just decided to pull out 3 tanks with Gatlings. This is hilarious, dude. Oh my god.
This new MG is an absolute stagger.
This is so funny. Look at all of them. Like they said, fuck it. You guys want to play tank? Let's play tank. Oh, but that's a map that actually has cover though, so it might be like the only map where this is not like the best strat.
So if you can,
in every flat map, that was likely the best strat, but in a map that has a lot of cover like that, it might not be.
And look at them utilizing the whole.
That is so funny, dude.
Yeah,
look at that.
Everyone is like, target Oro, target Oro.
Oro snapping off those grenade shots.
Oh,
Recentering himself, using that quick boost very, very well.
Target Oro, target Oro.
Yes.
Everyone's on him, dude.
Sometimes you can go overboard with that too.
You can overcommit. You can overcommit. Too easy to do. Too easy to do.
Yeah, this map looks like the best map we've seen so far, for sure. No doubt.
Too, but there's always be mindful of everything that you're doing, even when you're like in the heat of the moment.
And then everyone in the other team, they're like, target Cowboy, target Cowboy.
Neither are deterred. We got Fighting Cowboy heading right back in with the overboost. He's honing right
I feel
in.
like Cowboy here is making good decisions for mech choice depending on the map.
It looks like rolling the shot.
I like his strategies for
really just
mech choice.
Staying on.
I'm just stunned. Oh my gosh.
Boost.
Oh.
Didn't build up a full stun, but still got some good damage. Still got some good damage out, and that's key.
Ooh, I think you got kicked there.
Sometimes you won't be able to stay home for the full deal. You're gonna have to help it.
The melee weapon seems very strong here because it's so slow overall.
It's really easy to kind of go
like the game is so much slower than other Armored Core games. Like it feels like melee is so much easier to land.
When we were looking at urban combat like this, you could kick off the walls a lot. Since we don't have that here, maps where you have cover, make use of that. Those of you who are fast, if you're maneuverable, break locks as much as you possibly can.
So break locks.
Yeah. So anybody worried about?
I mean, Oro's definitely having fun. Look at his facial expression.
Get out of that lock reticle. Save yourself some trouble. Get out of that train wreck.
Oh man.
Give yourself for another day.
Oh man.
Oro getting a rare.
I think his team is doing well.
Right. I'm like, what is he doing over here? He's just relaxing.
Sometimes you get a little time to coast, reorient. Sometimes you got no.
Oh, they got the high ground though.
You can kind of recenter, record.
I think because the game systems are not carrying the game, the map is going to have to carry it. And here you can feel that the gameplay is a lot more interesting just because the map is more suited for PvP.
Tell you what, I gotta say this about tanks. Anybody at home watching this, a big weakness of tanks in the past, people try to use their blind spots, but notice you can spin at the torso.
Yeah, the melee, dude. Like I feel like melee seems like a big deal. Like everything is so slow. Look at that.
See like how everyone's playstyle is so different.
Yeah, melee seems actually quite important. I was not expecting that.
Right.
Others who are right in like Fighting Cowboy, taking his down.
Very interesting.
dishing out as much damage as he's taking. Just
I cannot think of an Armored Core game where...
They're getting major air.
I mean, for answer, Melee was...
I mean, they're just raining down on them.
I mean, Melee was still not like... if you were on good connection, like...
It's amazing.
No, Melee was not the all-in be-all. I think this is probably like the first Armored Core game where Melee is really... might actually be like meta.
In this game. You know, you always wonder, how is it going to look? Well, we see right here.
Shields might be good too, probably, honestly. Shields might be like almost like required from what we're seeing. Because it's going to be so hard to evade fire, like you might need a shield.
One thing too, which ideally what they want to happen with those grenade launchers.
Right.
Kind of like back in AC4, if you can hit splash damage, that counts for a lot. You don't have to hit an opponent bang on with those grenades. So sometimes taking to the air, not getting that bang on hit, or like here with Oro taking advantage of the stun, that might be your best play. And we've got a back-to-back stun. Back-to-back stun.
Look at all of them come together. This is amazing.
Claire trying to get out of this, making use of his pulse shields, but I don't know how much longer he can hold on here. Turning around and focus on Oro. Oh, good timing because his teammates got pulled off from the action a little bit.
And the thing is, like, look how they're sticking together, too.
Still a tight formation. Still a tight formation. It's easy.
Oro's just said, fuck it, focusing fire on that other guy while he's getting shot. He doesn't care.
Succinct, precise.
I mean, it seems like this is going to be the play, like the team focusing fire on one guy just to reduce the DPS that the other team can do as fast as possible. That's exactly what they did there. Like, Oro literally just de-engaged fight with that one guy and engage with the rest of his team to finish off that other dude.
It is real close right now.
It really does seem like this is the way.
What can we make happen? Oh, and there it is.
Although what's hard though is like when you're on the receiving end, like when you're getting focus fired on, how do you avoid it? Like what's your play?
It's my time right now. Look at him. Look at him.
I love how like they just switched to 3 tanks and then they just win, you know? Oh man.
He does a lot to try to bring Cheng and everybody in, really getting them into that process, getting them in. It is. You got to get them. You got to get your team as vicious as you are to get in this. So it looks like we're taking a sec to change schematics. We're going through designs.
This is great.
Yeah, this guy gives everybody a look at what that schematic loadout looks like.
And these are the loadouts that he already had ready.
Yeah, so this is the good thing here. You don't have to actually spend time going through the garage to change, to cycle through each individual part. If you want to go do just...
We're still close on points, though. To be fair, the map that they decided to go all 3 tanks on was probably the only map where tank builds might not have been the play.
To have all of this together.
Like going from my Verdict Day experience, like usually tank builds like that were much better on wide open maps where there was no cover. And then more nimble builds were better in maps where there was cover.
It's crazy to say that.
That's enough for me, okay?
And the play was to stay around the cover and use the cover, of course.
To me, we played the same time.
Right,
when we had kind of tested out and everything. And I was like, I wonder how everyone else feels about this game. But we're so busy each playing, so...
Yeah, it does look like a DPS stat race for sure. More than skill expression, absolutely. This is exactly how I'm feeling too. Yeah,
I think he likes it.
Yeah, I share that.
He likes it.
I share that sentiment.
He's in his element here.
Yeah.
You see him. He's still collected, still calm, getting things together with this team. And speaking of...
See, every time they change everything, that looks beautiful.
Here we go. We've got a heavily armed quad cowboy there. We got a dual plasma rifles rolling in that reverse joint. Look out for that. I'm going to be talking to that explosive damage.
I can't wait to see what he does with that.
Bear in mind, anybody who remembers, again, 5 in Verdict Day, we have 3 different types of damage happening. In AC5BD, we had CEKE and TE damage.
That is beautiful.
We got explosive.
Very interesting build he got there.
Don't they though? They do. I love the counterweight. It's kind of
he looks like he has like vacuum cleaners.
Again, going to work with the plasma rifles right away. This is one of the variable charge weapons you can take advantage of. You can just shoot like Cowboy's doing here. If you want to hold down your triggers, you can charge them up. You'll get a triple explosive burst from each plasma rifle. We might see those.
He's moving so agile.
But look at this. Look at this.
It's so smooth.
The nice thing about, again, the explosives are that you don't have to be bang on with every shot. Sometimes that shit damage you can add up is just destructive. And you know, the best part, he's got those explosive missiles on the back too, just to set up to really stagger blind, keep opponents off balance.
It's just moving so beautifully right now.
Fast RJ build. Quads might be good at air control now, but do not count out the reverse joint and their power of verticality. Speaking
Look
of which,
at that.
Cowboy just using these boost hops.
I mean, verticality doesn't really mean much when you can just automatically target your opponent, really.
And making sure that he's covering everything.
Classic circle strafe going on here.
1 second, guys. This sword is going off.
This guy's with his quad once
Sorry
again.
about that.
And he's a big fan of this too. So let's see.
He's nothing but talk it up. I mean, I was watching him during the Steam
Right.
Cleaner play and stuff, go through this stuff. It's great to see him putting the same energy to play in PvP. Oro getting a full snap of grenades off. Fantastic.
It's popping off. I already knew it. I knew that he had it in him. And he's like, he's letting loose right now.
There's a lot of us out there that call the grenade launcher the problem solver, formerly known as the GNL-15, but again, the GLL here, just fantastic work. I love it. I love it. One of my favorite weapons. Oh man, Oro caught in a little bit of stunnage here coming from the plasma rifles on the other side, but he still gets out of it. Low in energy, it's easy to overextend your generator cap here, but notice once you hit the ground, the energy fills back up so much faster. So you've got to take advantage of that management. Cowboy.
Cowboy.
Trying to take advantage of that aerial
but he's still
assault coming
smiling, so he's okay.
He's all right.
He's going to get right back up.
All right.
He's
Again,
still
the things are
smiling.
fairly
It's
even here for
okay.
Takedowns. We got Team Alpha at 461 and Beta at 216.
Thanks,
We
Mom.
still have an ample amount of time. It's 240?
240.
I swear.
It's everyone's game right now as far as what's happening. We were talking about what your time limits be before we were setting up for this, and I think 5 minutes is just right.
Yes.
Get you really immersed, get into that chaos, and get into that havoc. This is just beautiful. Again, Cowboy, there's the triple shot, the charged up plasma, followed by the triple missiles and the kick. Those are the kind of combos that we're talking about that need to happen.
Beautiful.
Beautiful work by Cowboy.
Oh.
He pays for it. I think Oro's team.
Maybe the skill is going to be around being able to pull off the combos you want, but again, it goes back to DPS though. It goes back to DPS and how you made your build prior to the encounter rather than how you played the encounter almost.
So he gets close. There they go. Down to 1029.
Because pulling off your combo is going to be closely related to the button sequence that's related to your build.
They're switching up the play style often if their teammates are catching up too.
Right.
You know? And that's...
Anybody out there worried about ammo count? You'll notice in the bottom right portion of the screen, ammo seems a lot more generous here in AC6 than we've had it in previous games. And I think no one's really had an issue with that lately, or they had to drop parts. Just look at Cowboy here. I mean, I'm sure he's pressed respond, but he has got plenty more where that came from. And he is not afraid to show that kind of distinction here.
He's pretty aggressive too, the way he fights.
Also, I wonder how the hit confirm is going to work in that game.
Getting out of dodge, getting himself clear.
Like if they're going to go the 4th generation route where any latency will make it so you can't hit your target whatsoever. Or if it's going to be more like in the 5th generation where, you know, your hits will actually hit your target if it lands on your screen. I wonder how that's going to play out.
You see around the arena. It's an example of some of this cover you can take advantage of. You have too many problems of trying to break a lock. Sometimes it's best just get under that cover, save yourself some trouble, save yourself some hassle, get rid of that aerial assault. Speaking of aerial assaults, look at this.
This is just all-out attack.
Fighting Cowboy, digging in with another boost kick after he drops a whole.
It feels like he's already like knowing all of his moves.
There's a lot of flashes, and that's for sure.
You're down to the last 20 seconds. Team Alpha's got the lead right now with 1074.
The special effects are off the chart here.
We got the swing up to 1196. Beta 682 with Oroboro. Fresh off the spawn, 5 seconds. What do we make happen?
Man, our guy from Armored Core Legacy is being like a pro commentator though. Like he's making this feel like a competitive match. I love his energy actually.
Fighting Cowboy, clearly.
Like he's making this like look so much better than it actually is.
You know what? All of that PvP is insane. I'm sure that everyone at home. How do you guys feel about that? Like, we're going crazy inside right now.
That is wild.
Oh, man. What do you think about like how your teammates are feeling right now watching this?
It's got to be pulse pounding stuff, you know. I mean, look, the broader community watching this too. I mean, I'm sitting here going crazy just seeing it on screen. And those of you guys at home, look, I hope you're digging this as much as we are. absolutely crazy. Obviously super smooth. I know one of the biggest questions has been, what's PvP going to be like? And the last thing people wanted was just only look at that with canned footage. But here we had several matches live. We had the team play happening. We had several different builds used.
Yeah, we can make a more educated opinion.
Reverse joints, quads, bypass, the whole
because we got more footage to analyze. But
it's killer, isn't it?
Right too much.
But I don't really like what I'm seeing, to be honest. Not enough skill expression for my taste.
You know, our players are some of the best.
They are.
You know, they are some of the best, and I think that
it's too focused on the build rather than how you play the build.
I can't wait to see what we're going to be, you know, what's going to be showcased in the future.
And I'll tell you what I'd love to see, just the adaptation, especially in the part of fighting Cowboy and Oro. They played so many from games,
right?
You know, and their content, if you guys have ever checked it out and know anything about it, you know, just adapting all those scenes. But coming here to Armored Core and really just digging in, just with both hands here, and just coming up with the strats on the fly, just the builds. It's just been awesome to see how they'd adapt to just the early week one stuff, you know.
And I think that like even new fans, there's a lot of new fans in my community that are really excited about this game because they like that weightiness. And I keep on mentioning that.
The two of them have great outfits. Dude, I could not agree more.
Maneuvering around with your AC, you're like, this
This guy's t-shirt
it does.
is on point.
There's nothing really like Zone of the Enders quite like about it. You know, there's a real weight, a heft to your ACs.
Yes.
And the cool part about that is you feel that in the verticality. You really have to push your boosters to ascend when you're
also his post, that's also true,
you're doing the quick turn motions and everything like that. So it's you put so much of your own personal flavor behind it too, which is unbelievably high.
Each piece on the AC is your personality and how you play.
Exactly.
It's very personal, which I think is the most beautiful part about Armored Core games.
Down to the emblem, down to the paint job, every single part of it. So if you guys are as eager as we are to dig into this, hey, you got a home waiting for you in PvP. Get in there and enjoy it.
I mean, we're watching PvP live, and I can't wait to talk to the players because
same. I know we gotta hear their thoughts. I want to hear in this blood riot.
They were
too,
like I said, they were trolling each other on Twitter earlier,
the whole time.
Or not Twitter, sorry, X. But you know what? Anyway, so let's join our players to get their thoughts on the match.
Let's dive in.
All right.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey, we're doing great.
What could be better?
Yeah.
Amazing job, everyone. I'm really curious to hear.
Is there anything better?
Different... Oh, what was that?
No, you're good.
You're good.
Oh, okay, awesome. Amazing job, everyone. We thought you killed it out there.
Absolutely, guys.
Yeah, it's so funny.
We're really curious to hear your different perspectives of the game.
Go ahead.
Super fun. Yeah. I love the PvP. It's awesome.
So I think the big thing people need to keep in mind here is tank goes boom.
Yes,
and
it does.
and Team Beefy Boys are clearly the champion of this event. With the what was that?
That's a good conclusion.
Yeah, I think it was 3-1. Sounds right. Yeah, sounds right. 3-1 sounds right. Yeah.
They try and meme to win. Oh, it's embarrassing.
Okay. No, that was a good fight, Cowboy. That was good shooting.
Honestly, yeah, it was good. Honestly, it feels amazing. Just when you think you have a beat on somebody, next thing you know, you're getting stunned from behind, and you have to change angles, and then the dynamic of having to go for the guy worth extra points. Yeah, it's a dogfight is
the dynamic of having to go for the guy with extra points.
The 3v3 is absolute chaos, and I loved it.
Let me puke a little bit.
Like, we were calling out, screaming to each other in the room, like trying to focus different players. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Yeah, we were calling out targets, 0-1, 0-3, 0-2.
Yeah, Cowboy, I think I heard you from over the other room, dude. Yeah, you're so loud.
Absolutely awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, it's looking like we might have a little bit of room for redemption, a little time to throw things back in.
Oh,
yes.
What would you guys say for another shot to keep this whole blood feud going? You want to let Cowboys team run away with this Oro chain? You guys got something to say about it?
Yeah, because I'm feeling this rivalry a lot more. It's being thick.
It's okay, Oro. This game is not about skills, brother.
We're gonna run this back.
Okay.
We're gonna run this back. We got the time. We're
Fighting Cowboy got the Beefy Boys. You cannot beat that.
For another best of 5. Let's hear it, guys. Get hype in the house. Team Oroboro, Team Fighting Cowboy, back in the mix. Let's settle this. Awesome.
Oh, Oh man, I mean, I can't believe that we're doing another PvP match.
I know. I'm so glad there's time for it. You know, we'd only initially planned maybe just to have that one segment, but you see here.
This
So
is
this
why
guy
I
is
like
actually the
live
host now.
podcasts,
They gave
because
him
we
the
can
job
think of
on the
these
mic.
things on the fly.
This is the best. This is the best.
Like, he
I was
just
like,
heard it
we're
in his
really
ear,
gonna do
like, you
another
take
PvP
over.
match? I don't know if I can. I can handle it.
I'm
But there's gonna be.
all about it.
I think
He
that
just
he's getting really
winged
heated,
it.
though.
He's like,
blood's boiling.
let's
I
get
can
a
tell
rematch.
Oro is like,
Oh, he is.
let's go.
Oro's not willing to let this stand, but Fighting Cowboy just kind of pushing him off. Said, "Hey man, you can try, but I can't guarantee any results. We're gonna see what happens with this next set of 5 and see if there could be any kind of redemption here."
I'm very curious about their, rivalry. Actually, I'm probably gonna look it up later.
Look into it. Kind of dig into things. But we the whole day in the studio and beforehand, we've been hearing the trash talk between them. I love it. I didn't
get to hear it, but then I'm hearing it now, and it's amazing.
Now you see it live.
Yeah, and now I'm hoping that after the game releases, I'm excited to see them play again.
Oh, well, everybody will be back in. Hopefully we get a chance to mix it up with everybody and jump in.
And I hope I can play with you too.
Oh,
that would be really awesome.
Same here.
I would love to team up because now that the community is getting bigger, I want to join in on the fun too.
You should. This is the time for it, and especially anybody who's really enjoyed the whole complement of From Games. Again, there's so many potential new fans, and you guys really got the opportunity to help push this well into the future. So hey, I encourage you guys, hop in, join in PvP. Of course, this is just proof. Stone cold copy proof that beating the game isn't the end. Getting the multiple endings, whatever parts you find, that's just the start.
Yeah.
You get in here in PvP, and that's where you apply everything you found.
And the customization is the thing that I think is the best thing that I can visually see.
I'm sorry, lady. Customization does not carry gameplay.
Customizing
Unfortunately,
to the T of how I want.
Exactly.
Unfortunately,
the best part, even if you've
it's very
done
important,
homework on
but
the parts. Let's say you've gotten the internals, the
gameplay
generator, the
first,
fire
my
control
friends.
system. You got everything you want. You think you got a weapon loadout you want. Then things come to the paint scheme and the emblem editor. Anybody who likes spending time in that, look, like the emblem editor is the most robust it's ever been in this version of AC. So
Beautiful.
I mean, if you like to spend hours just popping down emblems, place stuff all over your AC, you've got a chance to.
Oh yeah, and we're back on another PvP match.
Throwing things back.
Yes.
Continuing on with Squad Alpha.
Let's see if they got a
Fighting
different
Cowboys
map.
Ready in gang.
So far, we had 2 flat maps and 1 map with cover. One good map. The map with cover was the only good map.
I love their color scheme.
Okay, let's see here. Looks like another flat map, actually. Yep, another flat map. So I think it's the same as the one in the beginning.
I love watching their tactics here. Let's see. Let's see.
Here, this is going to be really interesting, this map. There's a lot less cover, and anybody familiar with classic Armored Core, this is a lot like the old school arena map. A nice big open area.
Yeah, indeed, the old school arena maps, but the old school arena maps worked because you had to manually aim, so movement alone was enough to deter from the lock-on, for instance.
Already low on AP, but just totally shrugging off what's happened behind him. He wants this quad.
He's very aggressive. He's one of the most aggressive players I've seen.
I can respect that. Cowboy just not deterred. Not deterred. He zones in on his target. He wants to get that job done. My God, he tries to make it happen. Oro on the way.
Oro's not having any of it.
Also, the fresh spawn himself, just jumping right in on things. Oh, the blade. The back. Choose not to do the double hit. Zone in one more time. And is instead going to just choose to back off a little bit. There's the
Oro is
combo.
angry.
Oro causing Flare to actually respond and pop his shield with Oro paying the price. For that overcommitment.
Oh, man.
And it's punishing, too.
Telling you guys, beefy boy.
Especially if you get a little greedy, they're punishing.
The tank is the play in this. Definitely. Tank is the play in this map for sure.
Where the punishment comes from as far as getting the stun. Because, again, like I was saying earlier, you're not always in a good position to take advantage of that stun.
Right.
And the people that can seize it, man.
I just love watching the team action. I think that's super awesome. Oh,
this should have been the map where everyone takes a tank for Oro's team.
No one really had enough to follow up on it. That was a perfect example.
Right,
he might have had the stun, but it didn't end him.
Exactly.
And check it out. Team Alpha is all over this again. It's 8:54.
I think they had 2 tanks though.
108. We're trying to get a takedown on Cowboy here to hopefully stack up some points, evening things up. However, this goes to show, even with a ton of armor, you can make a tank just bleed AP. Well, it's already down in 2,000 here. Look at this.
Got him.
Go down before Fighting Cowboy does. Another stun and pop in the shield. Pop in the shield for pulse fences. And there goes Cowboy.
Got him.
With that hit. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Rough.
I love this, how we keep the focus over on the team captains.
Right.
And Oro, staying collected. Staying collected. Alpha's up 983 to Team Beta's 465, but still we have 2 minutes 17 left.
I feel like, you know, with those kind of legs, they're very agile.
They are, you know, and in fact,
yeah, and that does not mean a lot to be very agile when your opponent can keep perfect tracking of you with infinite turning
it looks
speed.
like it's quicker too.
It seems very, very irrelevant, especially when there's no place to take cover from.
The types of legs here.
You know, I could be wrong on that, but at first glance, that's definitely what it seems like.
That is punishment.
Everybody.
I felt that. Yeah. I felt that. Whoa. Oh, look at he has limit. Oh.
Unbelievable switchback happening
gosh.
here.
Oh,
Taking this down
two.
again. Absolutely trading hits here, but
man.
Alpha coming out the better. 12:03 to Beta 682. Still some time to make something happen here, but steadily running away with the lead.
I'm watching closely. I'm seeing where the teammates can. Oh,
yeah, with enough
here it
feedback,
is.
they can cut it down for the PvP. It will be needed. I honestly, genuinely believe that no one is going to like this PvP, if I'm being honest. Like, of course, this is a sponsored event. Of course, we're not going to shit on the game here, but
I'm loving this.
It is beautiful. I mean,
even after this event, like publicly, I doubt either any of these guys who got invited there would be critic of the PvP. I think they would all probably defend it, which would make sense. But when it comes to like actually playing it, I really doubt that people are going to enjoy this. I definitely think that From Software is going to have to change things around, and I do believe they will. So be vocal about what you guys want to see for changes. For me personally, I would say even if it's a big change, I would advocate for the return of turning speed, as well as a change for the PvP about the hard lock. Make it so that it can only be pretty much like the 4th generation, so the lock can be broken, and the lock is only an assist to your aim as opposed to a complete lock, hard lock that cannot be broken. Those are probably like the two main things that I would suggest for this from the footage we're seeing. So if you guys have any suggestions, anything that you think could be relevant here,
of this run back best of 5 series,
that could be it could be a good idea to voice your concerns.
You saw it in Oro's eyes. He's
I mean, and especially since you've been such a fan for so long. I mean, looking at this PvP, how does it affect you right now? I'm sure it's like crazy.
Oh man, look.
More maps with cover. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Run back there myself. And,
I was about to say that earlier.
I'm kind of dying to. Maybe there'll be time after.
The PvP in this game is unreal. I mean, we're
so
seeing
fun.
it for the first time too, like live.
Right.
Them playing together. This is intense, and it's going to be intense all the way through.
Right.
While you're playing this game.
There's some important context here. You know, I think it was Cowboy was commenting before we came in. He played the role of comms, like a team coordinator back during Armored Core 5/Verdict Day.
Right.
And there was a position in the team where you could help coordinate everybody, bring your team together, kind of direct them where to go. So to see him kind of taking that knowledge and just getting right in here as a team captain, actually applying that to gameplay, visceral stuff. He's absolutely killing it.
I mean, especially for me, I would say like the PvP aspect is what's going to drive me to play the game.
Right.
I think that's.
I like hearing that. I love the way you think. Absolutely. That's what drove me to play so long ago when I first stumbled on it. It's like an old Yahoo.
I'd be very curious to hear what From Cheng has to say about this event, because out of everyone who's played at this event, he's the one that had the most insight about these games. So I would be curious to hear like what he has to say.
I was in Illinois at the time, went over state lines to attend, and the rest was history. I could not believe that there was an Armored Core tournament to go attend. So it's
I've never been to one. I hope that you guys like pop up one some other time. You know, I would be down to go.
We've talked about LAN events as far as just hosting them and doing them. With the advent of the online era, there hasn't been as much of a need. Obviously, people being able to play from home and everything. And of course, you guys out there are going to have brand new, plenty of chance to play with AC6.
All right, we're back in it.
We're depressed.
Here we go.
If there was a skill ceiling, wouldn't he be dominating? Likely, yes, I would agree.
In their element, Squad Alpha
I don't know, because we taught him how to count.
Here to post up.
But look at them legs, though.
Look at dim legs, though.
They're dim legs, though. Look at
Good
that.
balance here. Biped, a quad, and a tank. Hopefully play to their strengths. What I'm hoping here, especially with that kind of setup, is to have the tank player sort of literally be that tank, get in and with the engagement. Hopefully the quad supports in the air with the biped able to pull some tricks, maybe some blade maneuvers from the flanks.
Look
We're going to see how it unfolds. And look at this already.
This air. Oh my
It's
gosh.
quad versus quad right away, wasting no time. Oroboro going to work with the dual laser cannons.
Oh, man.
Absolutely on fire here.
Oh, they're trying something different right now.
Fighting Cowboy taken back to the streets here.
Yeah, he's taking it back. That is...
Being forced to pop that pulse through.
That is
and getting the boost kick back for revenge. Running right into a spat of assault armor, and he's about to take it down here.
Oh, he's...
That's,
you gotta be careful there.
He just,
gotta be careful.
they collect with interest.
Oh.
With interest.
Also, I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah, the team
I feel like people can die so fast in this. Like, I don't know about you guys. Like, I feel like the respawn got put in place because people just die so quickly. I feel like the time to kill is a bit uninteresting, especially compared to other Armored Core games where a 1v1 fight, or like fights in general, you could not just nuke someone in a moment like that. I mean, you technically could, but it really had to be like a massive blowout. Like, I feel like here, like, people just die so quickly. I'm not so sure about that. Like, this is not the type of game Armored Core is, like, where you just kill someone, like, in a heartbeat like that, and then they respawn.
At any given time what we have happening here.
That's another departure.
They're doing a magnificent job, though, especially with the combat being so intense.
Right. Now, some of you out there were worried that you'd be able just to lock and permanently follow someone.
Time to kill would probably be longer if you could miss more because your opponent outmaneuvered you. That is a very good point indeed.
And I know that people are
you're
talking
probably
about that
right.
online, and they don't have to worry about that.
That's true.
Fighting Cowboy taking a slight break, refresh his energy here, but he's right back into the mix using that assault boost. And we're over to Oro, who's taken back to the skies. He is really remaining in the skies here. And the difference between their play, both Oro and Fighting Cowboys are team captains, really taking advantage of quads. Oro is more like to go to the air here, while Cowboy tends to stick to the ground, uses that assault boost
Duty
to
team
really,
deathmatch gameplay.
Loving what we're seeing out of both these guys.
I used to be an actual MLG Pro player at Rainbow Six Vegas too, so I won a few $1,000 plus tournaments on that game. And, you know, it's on the channel. It's old stuff, but I know my shit.
Focusing in, zoning in, sensing some blood in the water, trying to finish off this quad.
I think 5 minutes is a perfect time for these battles
it keeps
because
things intense, it keeps you involved, things don't drag out too long, and it keeps that hype high, that energy that we love to have, and everybody's giving it 110% here.
I think like I'm looking at this, I feel like one aspect that people are overlooking, like one is saying, you know, oh, the hard lock, it's fine, the hard lock, you know, has less accuracy, so you're going to not use it anyway, which is false because the sole purpose of the hard lock being there is not even to use it when you're fighting, it's just to reposition your camera on target automatically as soon as your target gets off of your screen. So you can never really lose target because you always have the ability to relocate your target in an instant, like instantly. So it doesn't matter if you're constantly using the soft lock because it has better accuracy. The moment your target gets past you, you can click the hard lock, relocate, and then disengage the hard lock. And so because the hard lock is present at all, the fact that it's just present, not that you're using it. You might be using it 1% of the time, it would not matter. Just the fact that it's there that you can relocate the target automatically, which makes the soft lock play exactly like a hard lock. You just have to press one extra button. So the problem is not you should use the soft lock versus not using the hard lock. Just the fact that the hard lock is there to completely break the quote-unquote the way the soft lock mechanic is balanced in the first place.
Unreal.
Oh my gosh. 44 seconds.
The team really has almost commanding stuff. 1486 to 18.5.
We got double bladed. Oh, that was sick.
Cleric celebrating the double blade.
That's amazing.
1595 with 30 seconds remaining on the clock.
Let's see something. We want to see something.
Can there be any kind of turnabout? The assault armor going off on Cowboys target, but non-deterred, just calmly sitting here from the air, raining down missiles. Oro just trying to scrap to stay alive, but it's not going to be enough. Going down with 10 seconds remaining on the clock. But Team Beta to 1934. What can happen here? We got 5 seconds.
I mean, anything can happen. We'll see. Oh, but Fighting Cowboy is standing his ground
He is.
to the finish.
There it is. There's the finish. My bad. I thought 1934 was 934. Of course, Team Alpha with that commanding lead again. Najimine.
Dude, Cowboy is completely shredding them. Look at his smirk. He's so happy.
He's just so satisfied with himself.
Will you PvP in this game or will you just do PvE? Oh, dude, I'm a PvP guy. I'll definitely give it a shot. But, you know, if the game stays like that, I'm not gonna bother like staying on that game for very long because this, like, as it stands right now, there is no substance to that PvP that I can see.
You know, that
so I do not see any lifespan to that PvP unless they address some of these concerns.
Right here in PvP.
Right.
But that's just me. Maybe I'm just wrong.
Man,
but I rarely am for that sort of stuff.
Laser cannon quad, and I'm really liking what Fighting Cowboy is running.
I'm taking notes myself.
Just now with the dual missiles and missile boat. He just took his time. He just sat in the air, took advantage of that new the aerial ability that quads have to really just rain down missiles. When he needed to, he was able to work his ground game, get in, establish control, and really push. I think both those
Oh, Roy's reliving, running into double nuggies for the first time.
Both of those really stood out.
I think I'm more like Cowboy, actually. I'm very aggressive.
That's funny.
So I'm studying everything that he has on his AC.
The focus of AC6 will be PvE.
But then I have to be very careful.
Well, I mean, I think they've already confirmed that. Although this, I like that this event is taking place. I like that this dude is here to tell the audience about the PvP scene for Armored Core, that it's alive, that there's a demand. The whole fact that this guy is here, like, spreading the good news is definitely a good thing. He's doing a really good job. Although, to be fair, he's very complimentary of the gameplay, which is, you know, it's fine, to each his own. But I just hope that this is not because,
an important note here too,
you know, he's just invited there as opposed to like he really believes that the PvP is like amazing and it's the next sliced bread.
Fantastic showcase of what's possible.
They are, and they're just using all, you know, their best builds right now.
Because at the end of the day, it is a promotional event, and do not expect anyone that's invited there to shit on the game because that would be super disrespectful. And no one would do that because you would never get invited again.
I'm all for that. I'm all about this.
Team Oro in for the heavyweight slugfest here. Coming in.
The Gatlings, you know, they're just all of them.
I love it. I love it. And, you know, this is actually great. Traditionally, in the older AC games, you know,
I don't know why, though, they keep the tank for the maps that have cover, and they don't use the tank for the maps that don't have cover. It doesn't really make sense to me. Speaking for Oro's team, because I feel like Cowboy here is doing the exact opposite, and it's working, like, way better.
We're seeing that happen right here. Keeping those streams of fire going. Got a whole play of stun happening here. Oro just taking his time, cycling between targets, getting that first kill and that first down.
I am studying, like, he's all above him, just raining down right now.
He is. Now, in the same hand, that can be a vulnerable point for quads, because if you hover too long and you forget to allow your movement,
he's getting bladed.
You're going to lose some maneuverability.
Well, obviously, he's right above him, too.
Getting bladed, but the blader died.
In this game.
Which is pretty smart, actually.
Yeah.
We're talking about how tanks have less.
Everyone's dead on the other team.
Staying just right over their head. If you can just get in that sweet spot, that Goldilocks zone to rain down those hits.
Yeah, when he says the Goldilocks zone, I think there's like one point when you're absolutely on top of your opponent. I don't think you can aim at someone that's absolutely on top of you, but if you move slightly, like we saw there, you might be able to. I don't know. I would have to. I'd have to get my hands on it to say for sure.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
And it's paying off.
That was intense. Oh, look at him. Oh.
This doesn't look very fun though to be on the receiving end on those stuns. If we're being honest, like, you know, I get it, you know, stagger mechanics, but like these stuns are absolutely brutal. Doesn't really feel very good.
That's a textbook that goes to show there are those times where you can't always be afraid to get in and trade. Go for that firefight. It'll pay off. Maybe not for you in the best ways, but it can give your team the opening they need to take that advantage and get in.
Especially if you're taking one for the team, too. If you know that you have to get in there to make things happen, then obviously we just saw that happen right now, but wow. This is intense.
Looking once more at Oro. Setting up a huge stun combo, getting some grenades in midair. Absolutely beautiful stuff.
I'm just
There you go. Opponent using the cover.
Oh, I love it.
What he should be doing.
You got a smart use of cover for first joint here, really taking
here
Oro
goes,
around
here
the building.
goes.
Causing him to switch targets. Another stun going off. Let's see what Oro can make of it. With the assault armor hit, taking a kick, but
good melee play. Man, melee seems like such a big deal in that game. I can't get over it. It's surprising like how much stronger melee is in this than any other Armored Core game.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, he's taking it off.
And Oro's down 2 minutes on the
Lock
clock.
on and hold fire. Yup. If there's no cover, that definitely sounds like it.
Something going here, making something happen.
Lock on goes through walls. It does.
On match
Yes.
point for Team Alpha though. They've already
That's
won
also
straight.
something
If they
I don't
take
think
this,
is
they're gonna
a
seal
very
the
good
deal.
idea,
It's over,
but
folks, but
and the lock on does make melee a lot easier indeed. Oh yeah, for sure. That was one of my first impression when I saw the initial gameplay. Like that's one of the things that I felt like was like in your face type of deal that was very different from other games, other Armored Core games. Sorry.
His tracking has been great. Just the way he's made
Felt like it was too easy to land melee, and honestly, like even in PvP, I think we're seeing it here.
Absolutely.
Melee seems definitely to be very strong.
Oro is really going to play her during this event. This is just fighting for position. To get that good position, to get in range, just to really rain down. He's not always taking those huge risks, getting in and doing those trades, but he's really set himself up well during this event. It's been good to see. About a minute left on the clock. And Team Beta's actually doing pretty good right now.
They are doing pretty
Let's
good.
see if that can actually hold out. Oro tracking his next target. Really just ignore what's going on behind him to zone in. It's overhead. The team reconsolidating. I love it. The spin.
I love how he's just hanging off the top.
Or is doing a reset, although I don't think this is a good idea in a team fight like that. You should always just keep firing at targets.
I'm all about the heavyweight. I love it. This is great.
Oh, this is a huge combo going here. Oro might have went down, but they got a lot of damage off during that time period. So
that was
beautiful. You see where that places points. Alpha trying to close in a bit here, about 6:42, but only 7 seconds left on the clock. Things looking pretty good for Beta. Just they hold out. And it looks like your wishes might come true for Boro's team to stave off the defeat.
I'm not choosing any favorites or anything.
Oro on top. All right.
There you go.
You know, Oro, we gotta have, we gotta see that.
Oro's liking it, feeling that energy, trying to write that story, that comeback story here.
And I love the alignment of his teams. That was great. I love that.
We saw so much positioning and play through the coverage.
So much positioning? Did we really see that? I would push back against that comment. We saw no positioning whatsoever.
It was sort of like a
we saw zero positioning. It's just a mess. Everyone just going around the map and then just focusing fire when possible, and otherwise when you lose target, you just lock on another one and just keep holding trigger. There was actually zero positioning in that entire game.
Things play out from here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you reverting back to the history and also, you know, how their play styles now. I mean, the excitement never stops for you.
It doesn't.
And I could feel that within myself too, because even though, like I said, I've only played one of these games. This is
like
the
for
game
those of you who don't know like what positioning would mean in an Armored Core game, like when you have a team fight, let's say in the last game that they had, like Armored Core Verdict Day, which was their last entry, positioning means that to have a team fight like that, some sort of battle line, just like in real warfare, like there is a significant like a battle line. Like you don't have tanks that cross the enemy's line, you know, randomly, right? Because you're just gonna get destroyed. That's what the positioning was all about in previous Armored Core games. It was much more. It was actually much more similar to real warfares, where you just can't play stupid or you can't make stupid movement and just go into the enemy's line unless you were purposefully flanking and the enemy was not aware of it. But now that turning speed is non-existent, flanking is not as good of a play, and so positioning is less relevant, and so you can go in the middle of the field like that. and because everybody can just instantly lock on to each other, like where you stand, independent to your enemy's location, is less relevant as long as you're close to your
I'm one of
teammate.
those crazy people that would just customize to no end.
Right.
Oh,
Good stuff. The team having a chance to take a look at their setups, get a chance to get set up, take a breather.
Wall Center is going to be the main map for a few players. Yeah, for sure. I mean, so far it's the only map that we've seen that can sort of save the day because of the cover.
But don't take too long because we've got
because
these
flat maps, like honestly, I don't think they have anything to offer for a game like this. You know, if it was a Souls game, you know, you'd want a map with no cover. But even for team matches, we've been asking for maps even for Souls games with cover. So just imagine in a game that's all about shooting.
And we might as well go with what works, right?
You know, so we're back to it. We're back in action.
All right, they got the good map though.
I love how he's going up.
We've only seen 3 maps, I believe, right? Was there any? Did we see more than 3 maps, guys?
We got
there it goes
high up in the air right away, but they got
for PvP. I mean, there's 4 maps.
Right there.
Is there 4 maps, or have we just seen 4 maps? Do we have confirmation that there's just 4 maps?
Really try to establish their spot early. Don't let them have that aerial advantage.
It was 4 maps.
Really get on them.
Do we know if there's only 4 maps, or we've just seen 4? Okay, we've only seen 4. So we don't know how many maps there are. Okay. Will probably be more. Yeah, I assume that too. But if some of you guys have some insight that I don't know of,
his playstyle, he means it.
I think
and I cannot believe how quickly you can die in this, though. That is mind-boggling. That's crazy. Like people just get smoked like in a hurry. Oh man, doesn't look very fun, honestly.
And really just not flinch.
Right.
When the pressure's getting going.
Especially since you can hardly escape it.
Goes down.
And I think they all also feel it too, especially if he's so aggressive.
They do.
They get a little bit like taken back, it feels like. Just a little, but we'll see. Maybe they're just playing along. They could be playing the game.
It's a dance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a dance in a way.
They could be playing. I know I do when I'm playing games. Oh,
check it out. Everybody in the zone in here. Got a lot of that.
I just want to see 3 and 1.
Has no one used a shield yet? I have no idea.
Those are the hype moments.
I know though that they said in the beginning that they could not use certain parts. So probably for spoiler reasons, they were limited in the parts that they could all equip. So we're not looking at like necessarily the balance when the game is going to come out, like specifically. Because this is just not the entire roster of weaponry that we're going to have access to. But that does give us an idea of what the combat is going to feel like.
You know, they're on point. They're sandwiches, and they're just shooting up.
I might tell them, just hold the avocado there. There's enough metal to go around for everybody here, folks.
It moves so fast. I'm like, what is going on here? But their sandwiches, their competition. That's just. I'm sorry. That's what it looks like. Oh my gosh.
Man,
these heavyweights, my goodness.
I love it.
Even just watching, I see that they're just being able to stand their ground and also maneuver around so quickly.
Oh yeah.
Even though it doesn't seem as agile as the ones in the air, it's still great. Oh, energy's all rough.
Oro's taking a lot of hits here, and again, if there's anybody.
Yeah, Oro's driving backward.
Definitely.
It just feels like that.
For the captains, everybody's doing a really good job identifying.
Oh my god.
It's just really zoning.
Bro. Oro looks like that one guy that's like trying to escape the cops in the parking lot.
We're still in there. 7:49 to 6:09. Still some time to make things happen with 1:40 left on the clock. Right. Assault armor going off. I'm loving seeing everybody using this assault armor being both a deterrent, the defense, also being a really good offensive tool. Everybody's really taking advantage of that.
No breaks.
Cowboy just taking half of his AP and not caring. Not caring.
I mean, the thing is,
focused.
I've been looking at the AP bar, so I'm just like, hold on.
Wow.
Whoa.
Cowboy blitz. Team Beta not having it and trying to claw back into this lead. Team Beta's at 7:17. Alpha's 8:68. And they got roughly about a minute still.
1 minute left.
To make something
Anything
happen.
Can
yeah,
happen.
Gabri, that would be a good analogy if we were to compare this to Souls. It would be exactly like that. Perfect tracking. infinite range
so
for
well.
like magnet
He's
effect.
so good.
That would be pretty much like that.
Important this is again, like it's always been with Armored Core, keeping your opponent in that reticle.
Right.
Just
And
keeping that
imagine
track
all
and
the
you're
spells
keeping
have
your
more
shot
tracking
steady.
too.
Excellent work.
Beautiful.
Team Alpha going up to 107. And check it out, Boro trying to get out of dodge. Sensing that pressure, that heat, not wanting to go down, but he
And remove the iframes. And remove the
Exactly what
iframes.
his name is.
Fucking remove the iframes. What are you supposed to do? That's definitely how this feels.
There's no police in this city.
What are you supposed to be doing here?
He's just going all out right now. He's like red bars
20
everywhere.
seconds on the clock, just not caring. They're looking
Like,
to close this out.
for those who were not there earlier, one sentiment that
Oh man, what's gonna happen here?
Turnabout's fair play, but
that has been coming through my mind throughout this entire presentation is I'm looking at this, and despite all my experience in different types of games, you know, playing at the highest level, both in shooters, both in melee games, I cannot see where the skill is in these matches. Like, I cannot foresee like what a skilled play would be. Like, aside from using the cover a little bit, which is not even available in every map, and like focusing fire with your team, which are two very basic things and are not very like representative of what I would call skill expression. Like, I have a real hard time telling you guys what is actually a skilled play that they could be making in these.
Fantastic. All right,
so that's kind of like my outlook on this whole PvP presentation so far.
I want to thank you guys for going crazy out there, for hyping things up.
And that's despite having played nearly all Armored Core games at the time they launched, you know. Like I said earlier, I spent like a year and a half, 2 years playing the last Armored Core's PvP Verdict Day, and I had a blast with it. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Like, and that's why I'm so confused here is that the problem with previous Armored Core games was not that they were bad, quite the opposite. It was that they were never really marketed properly. And there was never much of an appeal for the team, but now that Elden Ring has been out, since From Software is on the spotlight, this would have been the perfect time to introduce everyone to, you know, typical Armored Core gameplay that's always been good, even though they had different iterations. I feel like they did not go that route. They tried to do something completely different. You know, more power to them. That's how From Software has always done things. They always try to shake things up. That's how they operate. Sometimes they introduce features that are really good, but in that particular case, I feel like they remove too much of their core elements, and so I feel like they strayed away too much here. Like, this does not feel like your typical Armored Core game. Like, there's a lot of missing core elements that I'm finding so far in the gameplay. Yeah, they fumbled the ball, bro. They fumbled the ball, man.
That's amazing. Trying to help you arrange a few things, so it's real hype.
Forenser is less brain dead compared to this. I mean, Forenser legitimately has skills to it. Same thing with Verdict Day. I would argue that the 5th generation was the highest skill ceiling, but there's definitely skill in all Armored Core gen that I've played. You know, and Forenser definitely has skills too. Like, you can absolutely outmaneuver your opponent in Forenser, and there's a lot more skills in Forenser when the connections are good. When the connection is bad, it's a bit more of a bummer, but you know, let's think for a minute that they have the connection aspect sorted out, which is, you know, always up in the air. But if they have that sorted out, you know, it's not like their previous systems didn't work.
Make some noise. Let's go.
Spam the emotes right now because this is insane.
We want to see you go crazy out there.
Let's go. Who's gonna
1v1? Oh shit. Okay.
This is gonna be crazy.
This is a real toss-up.
Okay. I'm gonna zone in right now.
Match here. We got Fighting Cowboy running.
So we got a tank versus a lightweight.
Obviously, of course, like we've seen.
He's using the assault boost to reduce damage taken, or we did for a second, Fighting Cowboy that is. Now that he got inside position on Oro, he's just
very aggressive.
Unloading the Gatlings.
Also the distance with the bullets and everything too.
And then the tank never loses target. What the fuck, though? How is Oro supposed to be winning that? That makes no sense.
Might not be as relevant in this case.
What the fuck am I watching, dude? That makes no sense. Oh my god, I cannot believe that. This isn't, obviously it's not even close. Obviously, that makes no sense. What the fuck, dude?
You'll notice when you do the
who did this?
you're actually able to control your
Who fucking decided to green light this? You fucking clueless FromSoft again, man. They're so dumb. Like, they do this every fucking time. I'm so fucking done, dude.
And it's just smart, you know?
No, it's not smart.
As well.
Fucking clueless, dude. That's what this is. Like, look at that. How is the tank supposed to lose lock-on here? He's always fucking looking at him. Of course he's gonna outdamage him every single time. Look at that. It's not even close. It is not even close. It's a DPS race.
But you know what? With this one,
not even close.
It seems like they're both equally as aggressive. Oh, they're face to face.
Equally as aggressive, although Oro is like losing the fucking HP race like crazy.
It's like watching two samurais.
I mean,
wow, and there is a
wow, dude. Bro has no chance. The fight was decided before they even entered the field. This is so sad.
He is loving this.
Man,
he is loving this.
This is so sad.
Taking the chance to submit.
Oh my god, this is.
And that's all.
I cannot believe this, dude. Oh my god.
Thank you guys.
This is so fucking sad.
You guys wanted it. You guys wanted it. We saw it right here. Man.
This is so bad.
Unreal. Thank you guys.
Jesus Christ.
You loved it.
I feel like a nosebleed is coming on.
I know, right? I'm dying.
I just.
Wow.
Yeah, let me know.
Okay, yeah, because
I don't think I've been this disappointed in a game. I think in my entire fucking life.
Yeah, but
Wow.
I can't wait to talk to the captains because I want to see
That's
what they got
crazy.
to say, especially Oro.
We're gonna have a story here. We're gonna have a story to hear.
Because he's really good at, like, he's a poker face.
He is.
You know
He
what I mean?
is. He is. He plays his cards close to his chest, but you can see the emotion
Wow.
slip through sometimes.
I can't wait to see what he says.
I'm going to be ruthless from now on when I cover this game, man.
But he is.
No more fucking passive aggressive. It's all aggressive. This is fucking dog shit. You better fucking accept it because this is absolutely dog water fucking smeared face on poop fucking game, dude. It's absolutely dog shit, dude. I cannot believe. I cannot believe this.
With my
I can't. I'm so done.
Already making your plans. Already making.
I am
plans.
so
I'm
fucking
like, thinking
done.
about like who I can call up. I know I'm calling you up.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for one thing. I love to have a chance to play.
Yeah, I'm so
But
done.
I think something to work on and really consider here, your movement, right?
Right.
Working in your AC, getting something you're comfortable with, getting a good weapon loadout, and just getting to a place of comfort where you really enjoy playing.
think
Get those
that's,
couple of designs set first
You know
and
what I'm
foremost.
going to be trying to zone in on.
The
Because
1v1 looked even
for me,
worse
I
than the
think that,
3v3s,
you know,
dude.
The way Cowboy plays is very much how I play in games.
That's-
It's very aggressive.
That's
so
crazy.
Good.
I probably have to be very careful about my meter.
And I think you're going to find yourself rewarded for that here in AC6. Again, you saw with like the assault boost movement. I mean, you're encouraged. You're encouraged to get into that kind of damage.
Right.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Oh man, thank you. It's been killer today. I love it.
This is too fun.
Yeah, it is.
Can we just stay here and play?
I know. Can we? I mean, can we have like an extended session? You know, do like another Saturday.
He's trying to extend it again.
Having the 1v1.
I love this guy though.
That was all because of you. We didn't even plan that. So
I love
thank
this
you
guy.
guys out there in
It's
chat.
so funny. He's just trying to extend it every time.
Man.
All right, well, guys, on a positive note, you know, they definitely had some cool content creators join this. I think,
to get some thoughts on
you know,
their match.
everyone that was invited here
So-
from Chang.
Yeah,
Dude, the truth
You've been creating content from
is in the
FromSoft
fucking
titles,
pudding, man. This
from
face
quite
here
some
is the
time
face
now.
of someone who understands the game he's
What players
playing,
of the game-
and this is the
what do you think the
joy
players of the game
from
look forward
playing
to
the game he
on
understands.
So I
This
think one of
is,
the big
by the
things
way, the
coming from
most
the
skilled
FromSoft
players
titles
out of
is
the
there'll be
four of them
the
in
same
general
kind of
for Armored Core games.
natural
He's the one who has the
exploration
most
where
experience,
enticed to explore
and he's the
world
less
versus
happy
like
one.
waypoints and whatnot. The idea of overcoming bosses through changing up your approach and learning their patterns and whatnot, that deep design that we see in pretty much all their titles is very alive and well here. So even though this is a departure from the more recent stuff, it still has that same energy, that same just feel to it when you play it.
No, it doesn't. I disagree.
Awesome. Very good stuff. My next question is one at a
Oh,
time.
dude. Oh my god. That's so fucking sad.
Hi.
You got to try out several build types, dude. You got to run a lot during this event. You know what? I got to know, which one ended up being your favorite? What did you like using most today? What was your best frame?
Oh, man. So,
Yeah, casual is the right word here. They casualize the franchise. Absolutely.
My blader has actually ended up being my favorite, even though it's super hard to play. I want to actually go back and try to master that playstyle, because like switching out the blades to bypass the cooldown is just super awesome. It's super fun.
Good. And I think the book still has to be written on that as far as tactics, movement.
Right.
Again, really smoothing that whole sub game out, and that's part of the fun of Armored Core. You know, sure, customization's one step, but actually putting that in action, you know, piloting and using it, that's the stuff that takes a lifetime to master. I love it.
Yeah, no, me too. I gotta say, Cowboy, that was really good, man. GG's, dude. That was sick.
Good deal. Good sportsmanship.
Yeah, that's amazing. But next question is to Cleric. What are you most excited for players to experience going into this game for the first time?
Honestly, it's the variety. Variety of enemies, variety of bosses, variety
Dude,
of
from
parts.
Chang went from Chang to just Chang after
any
this.
Play style. So many options to play in this game. There's something here literally for everybody. And honestly, I'm looking forward to everyone dying a lot, because I'm assuming that'll happen quite a bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, because you can't
can learn to
fucking
build
escape.
and adapt, or really stick to your guns and try to figure out a way to make your build work. That's the greatest thing about Armored Core. You can basically make the game whatever you want it to be.
There you go.
I think that's what's drawing me in and a lot of people in, because, you know, customization
exactly
is so critical and part of the foundation of this game. So that's great.
Yeah, you really got an open canvas out there. Cowboy just cracking up. I love it.
What's going on over there?
That's big energy. It's okay.
Yeah, what's so funny, Cowboy?
It's okay.
Oh man, we're just saying that we know this is just the beginning of the blood feud. We've loved it today. Hey guys, killer exhibition.
Thank you.
I got another question coming over here. This one from Chang. I want to kick this to you.
Sure.
This is really for the veteran Armored Core legacy players. I don't mean just us and people who worked on ACL. I mean just legacy players, veteran players who are coming from previous AC games. You know, whether you're just coming out of the PS2 era even, or maybe you're from AC4, etc. Look, I know so many people are happy to see the series come back after a 10-year plus drought of content. You know, trying to keep that flame burning. It's just been a press to do that. With that in mind, with all that time that's gone by, what do you think people are going to find that's really surprising or new about
fucking
AC6
smash the controller?
You know, Armored Core 6 has been a lot of different things over the years, so I think what people are going to find most surprising is with the way that they've sort of sculpted this game. They're going to find a lot of familiar feelings, but also new things as well. Things that will challenge them and make them think even more outside the box, even from, you know, the previous games. I think it's something that, you know, even being a longtime Armored Core fan, there are things there that I'm surprised to see and found absolutely fascinating.
Couldn't have said it better.
Awesome.
Well, that was amazing. Thank you so much for your time and also your amazing PvP plays. Those were really intense. So thank you so much for being with us.
Guys, we had a blast in the extended sessions. Again, I got to give a massive shout out to chat for encouraging us to do that 1v1, that extra time.
Bro, being held at gunpoint.
Killer stuff. We got plenty of time to head back to the garage, recustomize.
I'm so dead, dude.
Let's set this blood feud into more cycling, guys. Keep the madness going. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was great.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. I hope you guys enjoyed the PvP, because I sure did.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah, every second of it.
Yeah.
Every
second. Tango boom.
Yeah, tango boom.
Yeah, sad times, man. Sad times.
That's great. Well,
all right.
Well,
I want to thank all.
This is
of our
how the
guests
cookie
and players
crumbles.
today, and thank you to everyone at home for
It was
joining
fun.
us. Thank you, Zealous, for everything that you've been able to tell us or just give us information on, all of your rich history. And, you know, do you have any last words?
Yeah, hey,
I mean, Chang could be, you know, he could be liking the game. Who knows? You know, he's a serious guy. Let's not put words in his mouth. Maybe he liked it.
We're really looking forward to seeing what
I certainly did not like what I saw.
Those of you who are coming into AC for the first time,
I think the 1v1 was even worse than the team match. The 1v1 like blew my fucking mind. I cannot believe that this game is turning out that way. Anyway, guys, I think this this is the end of the event. Bad news.
I encourage you guys to enjoy
Bad
it.
fucking news for Armored Core PvP, my friends.
Get in there.
Bad
Love it.
news.
Very
sad.
sad. Rock. Again, big shout outs to everybody out there still making things happen in the community.
From this point on, I will not be holding back. It's going to be called Casual Core 6 every single time I mention this game. This game is officially called Casual Core 6. From that point on, it is just simply official. They've baptized themselves.
I felt that passion. Thank you, Zealous. We hope you enjoyed this showcase of missions and the first look at our live PvP of Armored Core 6, and we look forward to seeing you at launch.
See you again.
Hahaha. All right.
I can't believe we're done.
Wow. Wow. Alright guys, final thoughts on this. I think I just I said everything I wanted, but if you guys in chat have anything to say, maybe some of you guys like what you saw, you know? There's all kinds of people out there, so, you know, let's hear it. Whatever you guys think in chat, you know, I'm not alone in this. What do you guys feel? How do you feel? I mean, I'm not pre-ordering anything. Armored Casual is also an alt title for Elden Ring. PvE looks cool. PvP meh. No skill expression whatsoever. I liked one commentator. Yeah, that one guy did a pretty good job. Not gonna lie, I didn't care much about the PvP aspect. Good thing I didn't care about it. It's over. Casual, not a game for me. Trash. I think I'm glad I did not pre-order. Exploring PvE. Feedback about AC6. Lords of the Fallen dev, can you release your game a little bit earlier? Only PvE, popcorn, or PoopyCon. I feel like I fell from a 10 meters, face first on the asphalt. Not buying for real, it's so over. I'm excited, but I've never played an AC game. Fine by you, dude. We need to get turning speed return. Looks like PS3. What's up now? Looks more frustrating than Elden Ring. Yeah, I actually felt that. It did look frustrating in those matches. Either the 1v1 or the team match, like, I felt so frustrated watching, like, when you were on the receiving end, you felt so helpless. Because you can't escape that lock-on, and there's barely any cover. In most maps, there's no cover that we've seen. It will be a fun PvE game. That 1v1 show it all. Hype this shit up for nothing. Horrible. Will the PvE be good? I don't know. I think a lot of it is dependent on the gameplay. I think PvE will be really good. PvP will be pretty bad. Single player campaign only. It's over. Cancel my pre-order. There surely will be builds with higher skill ceiling. Yeah, I hope you're right, my friend. It's over. All armored core cells. PvE looks way too easy with those checkpoints and build changing. Yeah, man. The PvP was so bad, made me forget about the generous checkpoints too. Alright, I think that's enough. I think the outlook is actually pretty negative, honestly. So we're not alone in this, it seems. Like, I've actually not seen anyone that's overly positive right now about what they saw. Obviously, aside from the people who presented it. It actually looked pretty bad. Alright, well, guys, despite the presentation not being what we... Well, actually, I take that back. The presentation was nice. It was actually fun. I actually had fun throughout the stream. But obviously, I'm disappointed about what I saw of the game. But I did have fun with you guys throughout the stream. I appreciate you guys coming over and, you know, just chilling, watching some showcase event. We're definitely going to have more showcases for games like this in the future. I know Lords of the Fallen is coming out soon as well. So we're definitely going to have some Lords of the Fallen showcase in the future too. We're definitely going to be streaming that. And so, yeah. Guys, thank you so much for coming by, and it was a fun time still. I actually liked all the content creators that were there. I felt like they did a good job, though. Like, as much as I don't like what I'm seeing from the game, none of the people who got invited, like, that's not on them. Like, them, like, giving good qualities of the game, like, it's not their fault. Like, they've been invited there to do that, so... Don't hate on any of these guys. I actually think they did a pretty good job. If anything, they did us a service by showcasing the game to its true colors. So no matter if it's Vati, that host that was there from Armored Core Legacy, or From Cheng, or Fighting Cowboy, or Oro, or you name it. Everyone that's been there, I felt like they did the game a service, and I appreciate all the content creators that got invited there. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Everyone have a good one. Take it easy, guys, and I'm just going to raid someone else. Let's see who we can raid. All right, let's see who's streaming right now. All right. All right, guys. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of the evening. And I'll catch you up on the YouTube. See you guys. Much love, guys.